We got multiple streams going on at once. I have YouTube along with TikTok, and I'm going on the Highly Evolved Man, but I'm also going on some other channels as well. So if there's a little bit of jitteriness or something like that, I do apologize. We're going to discuss the Michael Jackson topic. Let me make sure that we are available everywhere: TikTok, YouTube, possibly Facebook. I'm coming at you. I'm coming at all of y'all right now. And I'm assuming that a lot of y'all have probably seen this movie by now. So I believe that we can get into it. And I apologize if it stutters or jitters a little bit. Just tell me in the comment section and I'll do my best to correct that. Because, hold on. Let's fix this real quick. Got that. I don't know if I like that angle. All right. Yeah, if there's a little bit of jitteriness or something like that, please tell me in the comment section. I'll do my best to correct it, because we are streaming on multiple platforms right now. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. How y'all doing today? Happy Monday. I seen this movie a little while ago, and I've been wanting to do a talk on this. Now, I am a person, I want to tell you real quick, who comes from a background of Michael Jackson and knowing about Michael Jackson. And let me make sure you guys can hear me okay. I don't know. This angle looks kind of weird. But whatever. We're going to get into it. I come from a family who worked with Michael Jackson. Some of my family, I'm not going to get into like a big deal about it right now, but they were in the entertainment industry, wrote a lot of movies, did things like that. So, one of my relatives actually spent some time with Michael Jackson. And I got to be honest with you. I had a friend when I was growing up in school whose dad worked with Michael Jackson. I forgot exactly what he did, but I think his dad was like some kind of a writer in Hollywood. And, they got a chance to go to Neverland Ranch and go hang out with Michael Jackson. This is probably like maybe like early 90s, somewhere around there. And I got to tell you, man, I was so upset that I didn't get a chance to go meet Michael Jackson as a kid. I was so upset that some of my friends went to go meet Michael Jackson and I didn't get to hang out with him. Now, I am happy to say, though, that I have been to a Michael Jackson concert. Give me a second. Let me turn this light down a little bit. It feels a little bright. If it goes out, we'll fix it. Yeah. Feels just a little bright. All right, is that a little better? Just warm it up just a little bit. So, and I want to know what some of your guys' thoughts are too on this whole thing, like with Michael Jackson. But I want to definitely know what some of your thoughts are and what you guys think and what you guys thought of the movie. We'll just leave it like that for now. We'll let it ride like that. But and I'm going to get into the movie for a minute, but I just wanted to give you guys like a little brief scenario and a little brief history of why I believe that I can speak on this film, because I have had the opportunity to go to a Thriller concert, which was actually portrayed. I believe it was portrayed in the movie. I'm not sure. Yeah. When he did Dodger Stadium, I actually went to that concert. I believe it was back in '89. So I was happy to be able to be in that concert. And thank you for those of you that are tuning in. We're discussing the Michael movie, and we're discussing parts of Michael Jackson. And I'm going to say this, man. I have pretty much, for the most part, those that were relevant and those that were needed and necessary, I have pretty much watched every Michael Jackson documentary, for the most part. Those that I really felt that it was necessary for me to watch. And I got to tell you, there's a lot that this movie left out. Now, some people might say, well, that was kind of the whole point, or maybe I didn't really need to know every single part that they were going to put in this movie. But I got to tell y'all, man, there was a lot that was left out in this movie. And yeah, we're going to possibly have some spoiler alerts on this video. This is for people who have already seen the movie. So if you're watching this stream, I'm assuming that you already saw the movie. Okay? So that's what this stream is for. And if we can get some likes coming in so we can get the algorithm, like let's get some likes that are coming in on YouTube, TikTok. Let's get everybody liking this video so we can get the algorithm going, because we're about to have a real discussion and we're about to go in. Please let me know in the comment section too if you guys can hear me okay on YouTube and all that. Let me know. Let me make sure I'm on my multi-stream comments too, because like I said, I'm going on multiple channels right now, man. I'm streaming on like 4 or 5, I think, different channels at the same time. So we're going to see if this works pretty good. Yeah. So like I said, I come from knowing about Michael Jackson extensively. I still feel to this day that Off the Wall, and let me go ahead and type that in real quick so you guys know which album I'm talking about. Off the Wall by Michael Jackson. And sorry, some of you on TikTok are not going to be able to see this when I put it on the screen, but at least those of you that are on YouTube, you should be able to see this. Off the Wall is my favorite album by Michael Jackson. That's what I think. That's my favorite album by Michael Jackson, is Off the Wall. And then I would say Thriller comes second. I mean, to be honest with you, Thriller and Off the Wall both go hand in hand to me. You know what I'm saying? That they both go hand in hand. But I got to say that like Off the Wall is an album that's really good. So that's what this movie pretty much covers, right? It covers the time from when he's a child in the Jackson 5 to a time up into the 80s and then into the late 90s, right? And this is the first part I'm going to start off with that you guys can hopefully give me a like for on this. Can I get some likes on TikTok? And can I get some likes on YouTube, please? Can we get a couple likes? Thank you. Thank you for the likes coming in so we can get more people up in here on this stream. Thank you. And I'll do more of these. I know I've been slacking on beatGrade on the TikTok. I've been slacking on it. I got to step it back up. But yes, let's get the likes coming in so we can speak on this. Let me say this real quick. How are you going to do a movie about Michael Jackson and you're not going to have Janet Jackson in the movie? Like I said, spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts. So this is for people who, this video and stream is for people who have already seen the movie. If you've already seen the movie, this is for you. Or if you don't care about the spoilers, let you know I'm about to drop some spoilers. And it's funny because before I jumped on this stream, I listened to a few other people's videos or their topics or their reviews on this. First of all, I went to Joe Budden, who is number 2 on Complex for media, right? I like some of his takes. I like what some of what he has to say is. But it's like, yo, man, y'all didn't really talk about anything as far as this movie goes. I mean, there's a few points. There's a few points. And shout out to everybody, Keith, Gabriel, Mab, Lisa, Mimi, Holly. Shout you all out on TikTok. Some of y'all user, I don't know your name, Paula. I appreciate y'all, man. I didn't really hear too many people really speak about the truth or about what is necessary for this movie. But like I said, how are you going to have a movie without Janet Jackson in the movie? Like, Janet Jackson is a big part of Michael Jackson and all that. And then not only that, but check this out. Now you're going to shout out Just Barbara, shout you out. Now you're just going to also not have Diana Ross in this movie. Like, yo, Diana Ross was nowhere to be found in this movie. Now, I haven't heard anybody discuss this. This is so interesting. Charlemagne, Breakfast Club. This is so interesting that I haven't heard anybody say, why is Diana Ross not in this movie? just for the fact of Diana Ross not being in this movie, who was a big part of Motown and who was a big part in what some people say in the discovery of Michael Jackson. How are you not going to have Diana Ross in this film? You see what I'm saying? So it's like, these are things that need to be looked at here. And I hope you guys are hearing me okay on the YouTube over here. I hope it's going okay. Hope we're not getting any kind of system requirements over there. But yes, man, Diana Ross, that's like a big part. She's a big part of Motown, okay? She's a big part of what was going on. And some people say in helping with the discovery of Michael Jackson or making Michael Jackson what he is, okay? And let's keep those likes coming in. Thank you for the likes that are coming in. I appreciate y'all. So I feel, and then let's also say this too real quick, that the movie did seem to jump around a lot. It was just kind of jumping around, like, oh, it went from this scene to that scene, and then it just showed him like singing and then getting beat up or beat down by his dad, spankings, and the whole movie really, and like I said, spoiler alert, the whole movie really is just about his relationship with his parents. It's not really about the performances. It's not really about the artistic ability of him. I mean, of course, they did put some parts in that, and they put some points in that. But really, there's a lot missing that is about basically, you know what I'm saying? Basically, his artistry and how he really came up with the talent. Look, let me give you an example. Listen, I've even go back to the point to where Michael Jackson has some books out there. I should have brought the books. I'll bring the books, but I'll show you this though. I'll show you this. In case you guys think that I'm just BSing or I'm just making some of this stuff up, let me show you guys this, okay? Let me show you that I have the Thriller record on vinyl. You see that TikTok? I have the record on vinyl, and I've had this since the 80s, okay? Like, you see that right there? I also have Off the Wall too. And just in case if you guys think I just have this for show and tell, like some people do usually in their collections, just to let you know I actually have the actual record. Here, look at that. Look at that right there, TikTok. See that? See that, YouTube? I actually have the record. I don't just have it as a collector. I actually have a turntable, and I have the Michael Jackson album on record, on vinyl. Okay? So this shows you that I'm a true fan. See that where he's got the tiger? See that album cover where he got the tiger right there? I'm a true Michael Jackson fan. Okay? So, you know, just to let you know with the vinyl, and then he had like the whole like Paul McCartney cartoon thing in the vinyl. I don't know if you can see that, but where he has like the songs, and he even has like the lyrics to the songs written on the paper that was on the vinyl. You know what I mean? The lyrics to the songs. So I'm just letting you know, like, this is real history right here that I have. But okay, back to it. I know we want to talk about the movie. We don't want to talk about memorabilia, right? I just saw that record and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I gotta let people know that, like, hey man, we got this record. We got this on vinyl. So, and that's another thing. That's another thing too. That the movie didn't even have any portrayal of Paul McCartney. Hold on. Let me. There was another thing I needed to grab too, real quick. Hold on. All right. Yeah. No portrayal of Paul McCartney. No portrayal of Diana Ross. It's like, yo, man, there was so much that was missing from this movie that it's almost ridiculous how much was missing from this movie. But I guess some people will try to say that the movie was brilliant and that it had its thing. And I think even like people like Spike Lee, who I know who did some videos with MJ, will go on to say that he thought it was a great movie and that this is what it covers. Look, what it covers is just one side of like him and his parents, and it's, I guess, basically trying to make us think that, oh, okay, I can understand why he's the way he is, because look at his upbringing, look at the way he was raised. That's the reason why he is the way he is. And I think that was probably the whole purpose of this movie. That was the whole purpose of this film, right? Was basically to kind of make you think like, oh, well, I get it. He's this way because this is how his dad raised him, and his dad would make fun of him and call him Big Nose. So that's the reason why he got the nose job. Like I said, spoiler alert. We're talking about the Michael Jackson movie here. Okay? If you guys want to talk about the movie, maybe I could have some of y'all jump on the call. Maybe I could have some of you guys jump on. You know? Hold on. I'm trying to make sure that YouTube's still streaming right. Give me a second, y'all. So, like, did you guys, anybody, I mean, if anybody could say in the comments on YouTube, TikTok, whatever, we're streaming on like 4 or 5 multiple platforms right now. Did anybody ever see the American Dream version, the TV series, the miniseries? The miniseries went way more into detail than this one is going. Just want to make sure if we're playing right there. Yeah, the miniseries went way more into detail. Like, this one basically did not have any detail. And give me a like if you guys agree with what I'm saying. But like I said, I mean, this one left out so many details to where, like some people will say, it's an entertaining movie. It was an entertaining movie, but there were so many details that were left out. Like I said, Janet Jackson, Diana Ross. I think they could have even went a little deeper in the relationship between Quincy Jones and Berry Gordy. You know, they just show like a few little parts of Berry Gordy, but not anywhere do they go into the detail and the dynamic of that relationship. Now, I understand it's a movie, so they got to chop it up a little bit and put it here and there and where they want it to go. But I got to tell you, man, this movie to me felt so chopped and so forced that it shouldn't have came out if they couldn't get the rights of the people that they wanted to be in it. Like, I really feel, and if give me some likes on this on TikTok if you guys agree with what I'm saying. It don't cost you nothing. Just give me a few likes. Let me ask you a question, man. How are you going to have a Michael Jackson movie and not have Janet Jackson portrayed in it? Like, I feel like she was such a big part of what was going on there. Not to mention that there were other relatives that were also missing from the movie. But let's just start off with Janet for show. And then, like I said, maybe Paul McCartney didn't want to be portrayed in the film. But also, it's like, how are you not going to have Paul McCartney, one of the Beatles, who was the only person that was featured on Thriller? You see, like, the American Dream the TV series that was on. It came out like back in the mid 90s. Interesting. Terrence Howard actually plays one of the Jacksons. I wish I could pull that up for you right now on TikTok, but I'll leave it right here for now. He basically portrayed a great scene. Hold on, let me change the light. My bad, y'all. Let me change this light. All right, glad it's working out cool like that. I don't want it to be too bright, but I also want it to be too dark. My red light was going out on me earlier today, so, I had to fix that. The American Dream, though. Great TV series. Great Jackson 5 stream. It's great. I feel it went into more detail about the brothers and about like how they had to deal with certain things, how they had to deal with the fans, how they had to deal with the groupies. This and like how they had to like shield Michael from all the groupies. This film said nothing of that. You see, like I said, Michael Jackson wrote some books, and I should have brought those books here today for this stream, but maybe I'll do another one of these and I'll bring the books. But Michael Jackson had some books that he put out while he was around and did like a biography or semi-autobiography, right? And he basically said in those books that he wanted to be part of the Jackson 5, but his father and them felt that he couldn't really sing, or they didn't think that he was that talented. Now, I'll have to go back and do the research again because you know how people change and twist stories, but apparently this part is on the Jacksons miniseries. You could find this online. If you really do like a search, you could probably find it for free online. But if you can't find it for free online, I suggest you pay for it. Just go ahead and pay for it and watch it that way, right? And thank you for the likes that are coming in on both, this and that. There's a scene where he wants to be part of the Jackson 5, Michael, right? He wants to be part of the Jackson 5, but his parents feel like he's too young and that he can't really sing and he can't hit the notes or whatever. This is actually, I think, in one of his books, too, one of his autobiographies, right? And he had to prove himself to be part of the Jackson 5. And then he became the star. I believe that this is even portrayed and covered in the series, in the docu-series or the TV series, American Dream, the Jacksons. Look it up. So then they saw him at a talent show. Michael performed at a talent show. And then they said, wow, this kid actually can sing. He actually is a star. That's when they decided to put him in the Jackson 5 and make him one of the lead singers of the Jackson 5. The movie did not portray this at all. The movie starts out with him already being the star of the Jackson 5. I thought that was a big part that was left out of the film. And if you got people that are going to go see this movie, and this is the first time that maybe they ever studied the story of Michael Jackson or saw anything to that degree, and this is the first time they're going to see it, they're going to probably think like, oh, Michael Jackson was just born like this, like a star, which he kind of was. But no, he had to prove himself to be in the Jackson 5. Like I said, this is in his book. Can I get some likes for this? Can I get some likes? TikTok, YouTube. What's good, y'all? Facebook, what's good? Let me get a few likes so we can get this out into the algorithm. I'm about to speak some knowledge on this. Like I said, man, I know people who grew up with Michael Jackson. Thank you for the likes coming in. Thank you on TikTok. Now, if YouTube, if we can get it going on YouTube, because I'm about to preach some knowledge here. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I was upset that my friends got to go to Neverland Ranch and I didn't. I was upset, man. Thank you for the likes coming in. Appreciate that. It helps the algorithm and it helps the video get out there. And like I said, I'm going to do more of these. I've been kind of slacking on the streams, but I think I'm going to start streaming live to y'all every day at 10 p.m. Eastern. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Let me say this, man. There was a lot of points that were missing in this Michael movie. Now, I'm not going to say that it was a bad movie or that it was trash. I think it was entertaining. And like I said, spoiler alerts, unless you care, unless you don't care. I would assume, though, by now that most of y'all have seen the movie. I would assume that by now. And thank you. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. User 8507299. I appreciate you, users. Yes, thank you. Thank you for those that are liking it. Thank you, Diana Bauer, for the follow. I appreciate you. Dirty Diana. No. Yeah, they didn't even cover the bad. They didn't even cover bad at all. They just danced around a lot of topics. Now, I'm under the impression that if you, and shout out Layla, I appreciate you for joining. Thank you guys so much. Y'all tell me this. If you're going to do a movie on Michael Jackson, which is what they were attempting to do here, right? If you're going to do a movie on Michael Jackson, I would assume that you're going to cover everything. You're not just going to cover certain parts of it or certain details of it. You're going to cover everything. And I feel that there was a lot that was not covered in this movie. There was a lot. Like, you guys tell me, man. You tell me what you think. There was so much that was left out, so many details that were left out. Like people say, like, oh, okay, they just wanted to cover from his childhood up into the 80s or the 90s from when he was a kid, right? Or from there up into that point. That's what they want to cover. Okay, that's cool. And then now everybody's talking about a part 2. Hold on. I say this. Close that real quick. Yeah. I say this. If you're not going to do the movie that is covering all topics of Michael Jackson, then you should not be doing the movie in the first place. And thank y'all for the likes and for the follows that are coming in. I really appreciate it. I usually speak a lot of truth on this channel. And I apologize, I haven't been able to be consistent on the stream, but I'm going to start being consistent on this. It's just, sometimes, we got to go make some money, you know what I mean? So we don't have time to be up on here all day. But I'd like to know what some of your thoughts are on this Michael Jackson movie. And like I said, spoiler alerts incoming. I would assume that a lot of y'all have already seen the movie by now. Or maybe you don't care and you're willing to hear the spoilers that I'm about to drop. But like I said, for those of you that are just tuning in, we are covering the discussion on the Michael Jackson movie. I happen to be a hardcore fan, and I will say that there's a lot of points that are missing here, like Diana Ross, Janet Jackson, Paul McCartney, and a few others. They just touched on certain points and certain topics that were good. Shout out Jose, what up? They just touched on a few topics and a few points that were good. But as far as like key points, like I said, Michael Jackson having to prove himself, having to prove that he knew how to sing, they didn't show that part at all. They didn't show the parts of the women. This is another part. I'm gonna drop a gem on you guys right here. Like I said, man, I was going into this with the impression that I'm gonna probably hear about new things that I never heard of before. There was nothing in this movie that it wasn't like, I already knew that. Oh, they could have went deeper on that. I'll give you a topic right here. You can hear this from Quincy Jones himself. He says this on the Thriller Anniversary CD, where he says, do you know how Michael Jackson got the idea to write the song Billie Jean? They didn't even cover that. Man. They just covered him performing the song Billie Jean. But not once did they ever say that this man had a female stalker who was jumping over the fence. They said she would jump over the wall, hang out in his backyard by the pool, and have her kids also stalk Michael Jackson, right? And she would say that those were Michael Jackson's kids. That's why he wrote the song Billie Jean. Do you remember how he has the song? But the kid is not my son. Where do you think that comes from, man? Why do you think he's singing a song about a kid not being his? It's because he had a female stalker that was claiming that he was the father of her child. I feel like that's a kind of an important part. That's one of his biggest songs, and I feel that probably should have been covered in the movie. Can I get some likes for that? Can y'all give me some likes for that? I'm gonna be dropping some gems here right here, man. Like I said, TikTok, YouTube. Give me a few likes so we can get the algorithm going here. Cause like I said, man, I'm gonna drop some jewels here. Thank you. Let me get it. Let's try to get it to 1,000. Let's see if we can get it to 1,000 likes. Because I'll drop some real topics here, man. And I was like, I'm planning to jump on this live for a minute. Yo, I can't even believe. Like I said, spoiler alert. And thank you, Lady Misty, for the likes coming in. I appreciate you, Lady Misty. Or Misdied, if I said that correctly. I feel that the sad part about this movie is that if you're going to do a movie, like I said, on Michael Jackson, I feel like you got to cover everything. They should have went into the allegations. They should have went into the court trials. They should have went into possibly what happened with the doctor. Maybe they didn't have to go all that way deep into detail, but they should have talked about a little bit of that. They should have talked about what he was doing and the holistics that he was believing in. Thank you. Thank you again for the likes coming in. I appreciate you. And I appreciate some of y'all out there that are following too. Yes. Let's get it to 1,000. Let's get it to 1,000. You know, I really appreciate you, Lady Misdied. Appreciate you. Yeah, you know, they should have talked about all the things that Michael Jackson was really into. And I feel like they really left a lot out. And I've heard other people say this too. I'm not the only one that has said this. But some people will say, oh, okay, like if you want to watch the performances like, you know, Jafar Jackson and all that. Yeah, he did a great job. He did a great job. He was great in it. There was even times like people say, you look in the movie, you feel like, wow, you're actually watching Michael. Like he does kind of come off like that. Like I said, they must have used some AI technology. They're probably using some kind of like face recognition to change his face at certain times. Because at certain times it's like, yeah, he really does look like him. But it's also like, that's not really what we're going in to see the movie for. And I understand why they casted him. Not just because he's a Jackson. Yes, that probably has a lot to do with it. The fact that he got casted because he's a Jackson, yes, that has a lot to do with it. But I think they also casted him because he had that Jackson essence, and probably because he's a Jackson. He had that. He acted like Michael Jackson. Like I could tell they weren't looking for somebody who was just a good performer or who was a good dancer or who could act like Michael Jackson. That's the reason why those other two impersonators didn't get hired. And that's probably why they were upset about that. Thank you. We're almost at 1,000 likes on TikTok. Thank you. Let's keep them coming in. We're almost there. Boom. We just hit it. I appreciate y'all, man. Hit that goal. Thank you. I know I should have put a goal on here for the coins, but whatever. Let's see what you guys got to say. I'm going to read the comments. Shout out Amish. Okay, let me see. Antron, if I'm saying your name correctly, you say there will be a part 2. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying that there will be a part 2. That's what Charlemagne said. Shout out Linda G. Appreciate you. And Mesh33, if I said your name correctly, shout you out. Linda G. He had knowledge of something evil, and they decided, wow, that's dark. I mean, yeah, that's what some people have been saying. That's what what's his name? That one singer, Akon. That's what he said. He said that Michael Jackson knew too much, and that he was a big time, like, not only was he like a celebrity, but he also was like really smart, and he knew about the business. I mean, the kid pretty much grew up in the music business, right? He grew up in the music business, so he knew a lot about like how the dealings go. Like, remember when he went on that whole rant about Sony, and then going on to say like the president of Sony was like the devil and all this stuff? Like, he actually went on to say that he was the devil. And then it seemed like as soon as he started doing all that, everything just started crushing down on him. like now all of a sudden. But that's my point though, is that why do a part 2? You know, that's one of the parts that I wanted to really speak on. Going back to your comment, let me shout you out real quick if I can find it real quick. Yeah, Antron, if I'm saying your name right. Antron. Yeah, why do a part 2? This is what Charlemagne was saying on the Breakfast Club. I'm saying, can't you try to put everything that needs to be said into that one movie? Like, why do we have to go and do a part 2? Why couldn't you just try to put it could have been a great movie where those that don't really have knowledge on Michael Jackson or don't really know anything on him, they could go see the movie and they could see for themselves, like, oh wow, all this happened to him or all that happened to him. Wow, that's crazy. That's a lot of craziness that happened to him, right? But they decided not to do that. They just decided to focus on his singing and his career and his dancing and then his relationship with his parents, mainly his father. And Nia Long in the movie, she hardly even talks in the damn movie. All she does is she just does stares and looks and stares and looks and looks and, oh, I don't know, just, she even said that in an interview. That all she does is she just looks in the movie. That's what she's doing. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, that's cool. She needed to play that role. But it's like, let's not sit here and give her praise like she was doing some kind of crazy acting in the movie. I was expecting way more from her. Now, I will say this. I was listening to Joe Budden's podcast, and they were talking trash about the movie, saying it was trash, right? And he said that the kid that played Michael Jackson, I forgot his name. I can look it up in a second. But he said that the kid that was playing Michael Jackson as a youngster, you know, from the Jackson 5, he said that he thought he was atrocious. Those were his words. He said atrocious, that he thought he was horrible. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't really fully agree with that. I thought that the kid was actually pretty good, you know, and I thought he did a really good job of playing Michael. Now, does he have to look like Michael or look exactly like Michael? No, he does not. But I feel that the kid did a good job, you know? Let's see. I think we got some comments coming in here on YouTube. Let me see what's up. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts? So hopefully a lot of you guys have seen the movie already. But yeah, if they want to do a part 2, that's fine. Let them do a part 2. We'll see. Okay, Lady Mist-Eyed. It's just good for you, said Michael. 4-hour movie, which might have been 214 everybody. Okay. Well, the movie was 2 hours, you know, and it didn't even really cover much. Stephanie, let me go to your comment. Give me a second. Just going through the comments. Shout you out, Stephanie. Thank you for jumping into the chat. He did an excellent job. I'm assuming you're talking about Jafar Jackson, Jermaine's son. Yes, Jermaine Jackson's son did do a great job, and that's another thing too. You see, I actually read the credits when I watch these movies, and from what I saw in the credits, Jermaine Jackson had a lot to do with this film, including his son Prince, or I forgot if that's her son name, but I know it's one of his sons that were part of it, and also LaToya Jackson's name was also in the production, one of the sisters. So that's why LaToya has such a big part in this movie. Because you notice that the only sister that he talks to in the movie is LaToya. There's no Janet and there's no Rebe. As a matter of fact, they don't even show the relationship with his brothers in the movie. All they show is just him performing with his brothers, and that's it. This is my point right here, y'all. Is that, yeah, Jafar Jackson did a great job. He did a great job with the movie. That's not really what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is the script. The script itself, the writing of the movie. And then you got this director, Antoine, or, you know, the guy, I mean, he's done a lot of movies, right? Training Day or something like that. I mean, who was the director again? Let's look it up. I mean, I know his name, but I just want to make sure I'm not saying it incorrectly. I know who he is, though. Antoine or Anton Fuqua. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right. But, yeah. What movies has he done? So he's done a lot of Denzel Washington movies. He's done The Equalizer. He's done Training Day. He's done The Magnificent Seven. He's done Olympus Has Fallen. Okay, so this guy's done a lot of big Hollywood movies, including Michael, right? I think he could have done better, man. I think that he could have done a better job. He could have did a better job. This director, this was a lazy effort right here. Lazy effort, in my personal opinion. I feel like he could have done a better job. For this man to have this under his belt, he's got Training Day, all these movies with Denzel Washington. So clearly this man knows how to put a good movie together. He's got movies with Mark Wahlberg. Now that I'm looking at his bio, this guy has done a lot of big movies. He should have made sure that this Michael movie was going to be better, especially as a black director. He should have made sure that Michael Jackson was portrayed in the way that Michael needed to be portrayed. He did not do that, man. What it seems like to me is that this movie was a money grab. This movie was basically, and thank you for the likes coming in. I appreciate you. And, hopefully some coins came through too. I appreciate that. This movie looks like it was done in a way to where he was just doing a money grab. Like he must have just got paid a lot of money to do this movie. And as a director who has won Oscars, or I don't even know if he's won Oscars, but he's definitely done movies that have won Oscars. I mean, he's done some deep movies, man. King Arthur, Southpaw. Come on, man. Tears of the Sun. Like, yeah, man. Brooklyn's Finest. These are some deep movies if he's behind all these movies. So it's like, how are you going to do a movie like this? It looks like he even did the Eminem documentary Stans too. I didn't even see Stans, but I got to see that. Or maybe he was like part of it. My point is this though, man, is that how are you going to do a movie with a script that's so half-assed, man? Like the script is just it's halfly done. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Jafar's performance. I mean, this goes back to the Tupac movie. Remember Tupac? All Eyes on Me? Thank you for the likes coming in. I appreciate it. Let's see if we can get it to 2,000. Remember the Tupac All Eyes on Me? Okay. With the one actor, I forgot his name, Demetrius. He looked just like Tupac. He did a great job. The problem was that the movie was just unbelievable and poorly written. And remember Anthony Mackie playing Tupac? I mean, come on. Oh, no, that was the Biggie one. Where Anthony Mackie. Another one where, I mean, the Biggie movie was all right. That one was all right. That was better than the Tupac movie. But the Tupac movie, you see, like, for instance, the Elvis movie. A lot of people are comparing this Michael Jackson movie to the Elvis movie. That's another point that I want to make right here, is that I watched the Elvis movie too. I felt the Elvis movie was pretty good. I like the fact that it shows him as a young white kid in the South going to the black church or going and hearing the blues and hearing people playing blues music. I liked all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel that the Michael movie portrayed that at all. I don't feel that the Michael movie really showed where he would get his inspiration. I mean, yeah, they showed little clips of him watching Charlie Chaplin and watching certain movies and stuff like that, and watching Vincent and getting the idea for Thriller. Okay, yeah, it showed some of that. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't feel that it really went into detail. It left out a lot of details. And then again, like I said, how are we going to leave out Diana Ross? Come on, man. Diana Ross was a big part of Motown and brought Michael out a lot as a young kid to sing with her. You're going to leave all that out? You're going to leave out Cher? You're going to leave out Madonna? Him hanging out with Madonna? Pfft. Get out of here, yo. Get out of here. And like I said, I'm not hating on the movie, but like people said, man, this was a movie in some ways that was made for television. This was not a movie that should be in the theaters. Look, if I'm going to write the Michael Jackson movie, which now looking back, I feel like I could definitely have written a better Michael Jackson movie. And maybe this is the point too. I don't even know if it's about writing a good Michael Jackson movie. I think it could be more about what can we say in this movie that the estate is going to allow us to say. We already know that Janet Jackson hated the movie. Why did she hate the movie? Was it because it was telling too many lies? Possibly, man. Possibly. But like for instance, this is another part that was left out of the movie now that I think about it. Jermaine Jackson, who was one of the main producers on this film. I also think that he actually is one of the ones that put up money. Jermaine Jackson doesn't even talk about himself at all in this movie. It's like, wait, hold on here. Do we know why Jermaine Jackson stayed with Motown when Michael left? I forgot where I even heard this from. I remember I read this, but there was a time when the Jacksons went on to be the Jacksons, and Jermaine Jackson was not in the group. Randy Jackson, the younger brother, there was actually a brother who was under Michael. You see, I went back and did some research, and I remembered all this. It clicked back in my brain, but then I went back and I did the research, and I was like, oh, wait a second. Jermaine Jackson didn't even stay with the Jacksons. He stayed to do on his own solo project, which you can look up. Jermaine Jackson put out solo albums at the time, trying to compete with his brother Michael. And then him and Michael had a beef at a certain point in time. Not once did they mention this in the movie, which I found very interesting. Thank you for the likes coming in. And then there's a point where the younger brother Randy, who was younger than Michael, oh, we forget there was actually 6 of them. There wasn't just Jackson 5. I'm talking about the brothers. I'm not including the 3 sisters. I'm talking about the brothers. There was actually 6 of them. This isn't even mentioned in the movie. This is not even mentioned in the movie that there's 6 brothers. Hold on. Let me take my drink real quick. There's so much that's left out of this movie. So much, man. Shout out Faye Cook. Shout you out. Yo, there's 6 brothers. Tito, Jermaine, Jackie, Marlon, Michael, and Randy. 6 brothers, man. They don't even put that in the movie. I think that's kind of an important detail. Do y'all not agree? Thank you for the likes coming in. Sarah, thank you for your comment. I appreciate you. You say he was never in the concerts or records. So, he was still one of the brothers. How are you not going to include that little minor detail? Not to mention that we left out Janet Jackson in the movie. We're going to leave out Janet Jackson. You know? Okay, Sarah. Okay, Michael was tiny, so the youngest was really tiny. True. Shout out James. Let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you this question. It's they're all little brothers. Hold on. Let me just move that comment out the way so I can make sure I see you guys correctly. Thank you for the likes coming in. Val, exactly. He was his brother. Exactly, the younger brother. Michael wasn't the youngest one. Shout out Marilyn. Appreciate you. Like I said, man. How are we going to leave out these details? These are important details. I think that, basically the movie could have showed more of a relationship of the brothers. Like, I get it. They're trying to show that Michael was, he was alone as a kid. He had to play with his monkey Bubbles and do Twister with Bubbles, and he didn't have anybody to play with, and he only had his animals to talk to. I understand that. They wanted to show you this is why he is the way he is. This is why he was crazy, because he didn't have any kids or any friends that were kids when he was a child growing up. He didn't have any kid friends. Like his mom said, hey, you need to go get some friends. And he's like, I can't get friends. I understand all that. Sarah says, I think Janet didn't want to be involved because she agreed with you. Movie was not correct. Exactly. Janet did not want to be in it. Yeah, but do we know why? I'm Just Me. Why do we know that Janet didn't want to be with it? Miss Fat, I've seen the movie twice. This is the best movie I've seen in my whole life, and I'm 61 years old. 61 years old, and this is the best movie you've seen in your life? Jeez. Have you... Listen, let me say this. The movie was entertaining, to say the least. Listen, I've been to a Thriller concert. That's why I feel that I can speak on this. I have seen Thriller, and I seen Bad. I didn't really like the Bad concert that much, to be honest with you. I think we had far away seats. We were like all the way in the top, so I didn't really like it. I still got to see Michael though, which was cool. But I've been to a Thriller concert. You're looking at someone who's been to a Thriller concert, okay? Dodger Stadium, which they did portray in the movie. Okay? The whole Motown 25. Let's go off of that. Oh, wait. Hold on. Before we jump the gun here, let me go back to Jermaine real quick. Yo, Jermaine was also, do you know why he stayed with Motown? This is why Randy became part of the Jacksons. And they were still 5 of them. But Jermaine wasn't in the group. People forget this. I feel that this was kind of an important detail. Now, I know people are going to say, well, the name of the movie is Michael. It's not Jermaine. So, therefore, they're not going to talk all about what happened with Jermaine. But I feel that was kind of a big point when the Jacksons left Motown, but Jermaine decided to stay with Motown. Now, let me ask you guys this. Do y'all know why Jermaine stayed at Motown when the Jacksons left Motown? AI summary, critiquing the Michael Jackson movie for its omission of key details. Okay, I guess. Miss Fat. Yes, I'm going to see it next week. Again, I get up and dance to I Love Michael Jackson from a kid. I love Michael Jackson too as a kid. And that's the thing. I know I went to go see it with friends too. One of my homegirls, she was singing through the whole movie. I was like, yo, this ain't karaoke. But whatever. Like I was saying about Jermaine. Do y'all know why Jermaine stayed with Motown? Shout out Monica. Thank you for joining. The reason why Jermaine stayed with Motown was because he was dating Berry Gordy's daughter, the CEO of Motown Records, the character portrayed by Lorenz Tate in the movie. Jermaine Jackson had a serious relationship. Now, I don't even know if they have kids. I can look it up. How about we look it up? Let's fact check it real quick. Did Jermaine Jackson have kids with Berry Gordy's daughter? Berry Gordy was the CEO of Motown. He was definitely dating her. And this is why Randy Jackson had to take over. Wow. Check this out. Check this out, y'all. See, I just did some research right now. Yes, Jermaine Jackson and Hazel Gordy, who's Berry Gordy's daughter, of Motown, founder Berry Gordy, had 3 children during their marriage from 1973 to 1988. It wasn't Jafar yet. Jafar wasn't born yet, the one who played Michael Jackson in the movie. But, and let's not talk about that one. Should we not get into that? That him and Randy both have the same baby mother. 2 of the brothers have the same. Did you know that Jafar Jackson's mom also had kids with another brother in the Jacksons? Ooh! Oh, they ain't going to talk about that in the movie, are they? They're not going to talk about that part. A lot of stuff that you guys forgot about. But yes, Jermaine Jackson went on to marry and have kids with Berry Gordy's daughter. This is before Jafar. Okay, 3 children. 3, not 1, but 3. How are we going to leave that detail out in the movie? Donnie says, or Doreen says, who cares? I'm going to tell you why I care. Because Jermaine Jackson was the producer of the movie. He is the reason why this movie came out. Miss Fat, Michael was the main singer. The rest didn't have a voice like Michael. Well, that's not completely true, because Michael Jackson, when he was a child, he wanted to be in the Jackson 5, and they felt that he was too young until they saw him at the talent show and then decided to put him in the Jackson 5. You see, that's the thing. This movie starts off with him already being a star, with him already being like the lead singer of the Jackson 5, like where it shows them in the living room practicing, and the father, Joe Jackson's like, hey, look at me, make sure you look at me when you're singing. Yeah, I'm not saying that none of that was true, but what I'm saying though is that it didn't start off like that. The Jackson 5 or the Jacksons were already assembled before Michael was even part of the group. Michael wanted to be part of the group. Shout out Gene for the follow. I appreciate you. They should do a biopic of Jermaine. I know why he married his sister. Yeah. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I Am Just Me. They should do a biopic on Jermaine about how he married his sister-in-law. And not only did he marry his sister-in-law, but that's who Jafar, who played Michael, that's who his mother is. His mother is his sister-in-law. So his brothers are also his cousins. His brothers are also his cousins. Can we not talk about that in the movie? Oh, that can't be part of the movie. That can't be part of the movie, right? But it's like, yo, Jermaine, why don't you show the part of the movie where you stayed with Motown because you were dating Barry Gordy's daughter? Oh, wait, we don't need to put that in the movie. We're just gonna put Michael playing with his animals and his plastic surgery. Okay, I get it. The name of the movie is Michael. I get it. No, he was not always part of the Jackson 5. You can go back and you can read his book, or you can watch The American Dream. Go watch The American Dream miniseries. It shows that his dad and his mom went to the talent show and saw him perform at the talent show as a kid and then decided to have him in the movie. Oh, let's read your comment. Lena says, stop being so negative. This is about Michael, and that's all there is to it. No, it is about Michael. I agree with you. But can we not talk about the relationship with his brothers? Can we not talk? Like, there is nothing about his brothers in this movie at all. There is nothing about it. Like, I agree. I agree with what some people have said. I've heard other people say this. Listen, we know that Michael, for the most part, was close to his sister Janet. I think those of us that are Michael Jackson fans can all agree to that. Carla Wilson says, no, he wasn't. He came after. No, he wasn't. He came after what? I got to hear what you got to say. Shout out Nicey. Look, listen, everybody knows that Michael was pretty close to his sister Janet. I don't understand how you're going to do a movie without Janet. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that you're going to be able to do a movie without Janet. And just to let you guys know, for those of you that are just tuning in, look, I got Thriller on vinyl right here. I've been had it on vinyl. You know what I'm saying? Even the part where he's got the tiger right there. I've been had this record on vinyl. Okay? So I'm just like, yo, man, I've been listening, and I've had that record since like the 90s or the 80s. You know what I mean? All right, let me see what some of you guys are saying. Yo, I just feel like the movie's entertaining for a point of view. Like, if you wanna watch the dance moves and you wanna sing along and you wanna be like, oh yeah, the Thriller video. Oh wow, yeah, I forgot about that part. You know, that's what's cool, and the performances and all this and that, and then some parts where he's talking about his dad and all that, and trying to like shake his father and do his own thing and go independent. Okay, I get all that part, but like, for instance, the Motown 25, they just jumped through that whole part. Like, that whole part, I don't even think they even showed any of the performances where they showed the Jackson 5 or the Jacksons performing together, the songs that they did, because they did a great performance too. I mean, you can go back and you can look this up online, you know. Miss Fat says the movie was better without her. I think that Janet would have been an important part to play in the movie, you know, because she was having a pretty successful career in the early 90s too, late 80s, right? When did Janet Jackson drop that All Right With Me? All right with me. All that you do. When did she drop that album? Let me see. What year was that? Because I think it was around similar. Okay, she dropped Rhythm Nation in 1989. Control 1986. Janet in 1993. I mean, the movie pretty much stopped around 1991. So, I mean, come on. Control by Janet, that was kind of a big album. That was a big album, yo. Like, let me see if I could play one of the things. I wish I could play it right here on the stream, but it's like, yo, come on. That was a big album, and that came out. When was it again? 1986. So there's a lot going on in this house right now. There's a lot going on in this house, man. You got Janet Jackson dropping big ass albums. And we're not gonna put this in the movie? Hold on. Which song was this again?
I found a real cute apartment.
I'm gonna go grab something and let
This is a story about.
He did it on the movie. Can you guys hear this? Second one back. Oh yeah. You can hear this. It's a Janet Jackson troll. Okay, let me see if I can switch this around. Hold on. I'll be right back, y'all. Tanya says they weren't gonna let Janet hold the movie hostage. She didn't want to do it. Man, some of y'all comments is funny here. Yeah, I hear you. I see who said that. Shout out. All right, second, yo. Give me a second, yo. I gotta go run something real quick. Wait. He came in after they seen Michael wasn't always a part of the Jackson 5, but for the most part he was. Yes, he was for the most part. He was the missing addition. And then like you said, Miss Fat, that you thought the movie was better without her. I think that I think that no, the movie was not better without her, because she was dropping big albums at the time that it was showing her. And I think that Michael was a big influence on Janet. I think that wasn't he showing her dance moves and teaching her certain things and like, yeah, you should do it like this and do it like that. Like, I think that they should have showed the relationship between him and Janet and him helping out Janet. Like, man, this movie could have been so much better, yo. This movie is average at best. It is average at best. Like, I heard some people say this movie should have been on Hulu. Okay, it should have been on Hulu. You know, thank you, Kristen, for the share. I appreciate it. I'm just me. You got to admit, Jafar did a great job. It felt like Michael was there. Yeah, it did. It did feel like he did a great job. He did a great job, and they probably did the whole deep fake and the AI facial recognition on his face and stuff like that, too. Yeah, Miss Fat, you said they're going to make a part 2. That's what everybody's saying. But you see, hold on here. Let me read some of these comments. Wait, hold on. Okay, I'm going to say my thoughts after I read your comments. Okay, Huck back. Can't wait for the liberals to find out Kamala tried to lock Mike up and Trump stood by him. Facts. Okay, politics. We're not discussing politics on here. Yeah, he spoke and he moved like MJ. He just didn't look like him. No, he definitely did speak and move like MJ. That's why they hired him for the role. Yeah, they tried with the nose and everything. It's just me. All right. I feel you on that. Thank you, Tam, for the follow. I appreciate you. Let me pull this one up real quick. Hold on. Sonia says, I enjoyed it. Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Yes, it's nobody miss her, and all she wanted was to see Michael and all his music he made. Okay. I don't know. Some people said there might not be no AI on his face, but there were certain parts where they could have at least like digitized his face and made something like that, you know, responding to Tanya, because, you know, they basically did that with Sinners. If you watch Sinners with Michael B. Jordan, they basically put his face on the body double on a few times, you know? So Janet was young during this era on the film. No, she wasn't. When Michael Jackson made Thriller, she came out with Control. Come on, man. Y'all got to look at the facts, man. I'm right here right now researching this in real time. I am researching this in real time, and I'm telling you right now that Janet Jackson did Control, which is what I'm watching right now. This album came out again in what year? 1986. 1986. So that was that was 4 years. 4 years after Michael did Thriller. Like, let me just make sure, just to show you guys, I got the record right here. Thriller came out in 1982. Right here. See? I got the facts right here. I know you guys can't see that, but I got the facts right here. 1982. Janet Jackson came out with Control in 1986. So this was just 4 years after Thriller dropped. No, Janet Jackson was definitely very pivotal around this time. And this was one of her biggest albums. Released on A&M Records. She got the Soul Train Music Award for this. And I think she also won Soul Train Music Awards. You know, this is back in the days when the Soul Train Music Awards was around. Yeah. I mean, this is pretty much a pretty big album. This should have definitely been covered in the movie. Now, again, like I said, I understand that this is a movie that's about Michael. I understand that. But what I am saying, though, is that there are a lot of key details that I think could have been put into this movie, and that everybody keeps going on saying, oh, well, there's going to be a part 2. Well, there has to be a part 2. There has to be a part 2 now at this point, because they left too much out. But my point is this, though, is that why would we even go into making a film where there has to be a part 2? Why can't we just make the original film perfect? And this is what Charlemagne said. He said, oh, well, if they're going to do a part 2, then it's going to be dark. Shout out Gianna Russell for the follow. I appreciate you. Diana or Dina says that you thought it was fantastic. Yeah, I think it looks fantastic. And yes, I think he looked like Michael. But I will tell you this, though. Tam Tam says, I remember seeing the Jackson 5 when I was young. Janet and Randy were about 3 and 4. Yes, that's the Jackson 5. Let's talk about after the Jackson 5. Let's talk about 80s. Early 80s. When was look. We already can see right here when Janet Jackson dropped her albums. Okay? I'm looking it up right now. I'm Googling this right now as we speak. Okay? Not to mention that Jermaine Jackson had a child with his brother-in-law. Or with his sister-in-law, Jafar Jackson. We don't need to cover that in the movie, right? No, I'm looking it up. Look, Red Girl, thank you for your comment. I'm looking it up right now. 1986 is when she dropped Control. That's 4 years after Thriller. The movie portrays Michael Jackson in the house doing Thriller, performing at the Motown 25. When was the Motown 25? Motown 25 was what year? What year was it? I know it was in Pasadena, in one of my hometowns. 1983, I believe. Motown 80. Well, the film came out in 1983. When was it filmed? It looks like it was 1983. Yeah, 1983. All right. So Janet Jackson came out with Control 3 years after that, and she also came out with a single before Control. I'm just bringing up that Control was one of her biggest albums. That was not too far after Thriller. You said they mad because they wanted a white man to play Michael, but his nephew got the part. I think his nephew was the right cast for it. You're right. His nephew was great. Jafar did a great job. You're right. There were times when I was watching the movie when I felt like I'm watching Michael. Like I really felt like it was him. Tanya says, so you are saying that they shouldn't have made the movie unless Janet agreed to do it. I think he did a good job, but I don't like the movie better than American Dream. Exactly. I think American Dream was way deeper, way more into detail. Now, why? I don't know. Maybe because back then they could maybe tell more of a story. I think there's also a thing where people are just so sensitive these days where you can't even tell a story now without getting sued or without somebody trying to file a lawsuit against you. Okay, Carla says you had all his albums and you had the jacket like he wore and Beat It. I danced like him and studied him. Same here. I had the Beat It jacket too. Exactly. Janet was about 16 when Thriller came out. Yeah, and then she was about what? 20 something when Control came out. Jermaine was the best looking one. Oh, okay. Tam Tam says she thinks Jermaine was the best looking one. You sure about that? Did you go back and look at Marlon with his green eyes? Tanya, yep, 1986. 1983 is, when Motown. Okay. So this was a year after Thriller dropped. I know that's when Michael did the moonwalk for the first time. Oh, yeah, thank you. Michael just brought up a great point. The statement about Kamala prosecuting Michael isn't true. It's been proven. Isn't it also somewhat out there now? I don't want to get political because, we're having a great stream right now and I don't want to get political. But isn't there something out there that Trump helped Michael Jackson during that trial? Oh, yeah, they're not going to talk about that during the movie either. But I heard that he actually funded Michael Jackson's lawyers or gave him money during the trial. But you're right. Now that I remember, is it also that Kamala Harris also is one of the ones that tried to prosecute Michael Jackson? But you see, that comes way after the part of the movie, though. The movie stops at about, like Spike Lee said, the movie stops at about 91, right after he drops Bad. Yeah, Manifest Love. Trump did help Michael. That would have been interesting if they would have put that in the movie. That's what I'm saying, man. They could have made this movie 3 hours long if they had to. Why not? There's plenty of movies out there that are 3 hours long. They could have made this movie 3 hours long and showed all of these little details and gone in. Like showing Janet coming up, showing Janet, Michael teaching his sister moves. Look, there's stories, there's documentaries. I can't even pull this all up, but I can pull this up where it's like, there are stories of Janet Jackson basically saying that she had Michael help her with her dance moves. Manifest Love says, no, Kamala was interviewed about the trial. She wasn't prosecuting. Okay, yeah, I believe that. Sonia, so that's why Janet doesn't like Kamala. Yep, now you get it. Now you see. Oh, see, we're actually digging a little deeper here just on this stream. We're digging deeper here on this stream right here. Wildcat says, I think there will be a sequel. You're like the 100th person that has said that. And I agree with you. Lawrence says, I bought a, let's see, Scarab in 81 and then detailed the side of my boat Thriller. Dope. That's awesome. I used to have the Thriller jacket, but I got the Beat It jacket. Yeah. Let's see here. Red Girl says, now I do feel this movie is exploiting him because now some of the Jacksons won't be in the spotlight. Yep. Rich A says it said the story continues. I agree. Oh, Manifest Love says that Jafar has already confirmed a second movie. I'm pretty sure. I mean, they kind of have to because we all know what happens after Bad. But the question is are they going to go into detail about what happened? Are they going to go into detail about what happened with part 2? I feel personally it could have all been covered in this movie. Now, if they're trying to do a money grab and just put out a part 1 and get everybody hooked, because the movie's already made a lot of money. I mean, I think, let me see. What was the budget up against to what it has made? The Michael movie budget so far to gross, and it's still in theaters. It's still in theaters right now as we speak. To gross. Let me see if the AI could give us. So the budget was about $200 million, and as of early May, it has been a significant box office success where it has already grossed over $500 million. So nearly $500 million. The movie has already generated $500 million already. So if they do a part 2, to me, it just seems like another money grab. All right, let's see what some of y'all are saying. Rich A, if I said your name correctly. You say I just went and saw, my God, he played his uncle effortlessly. Yeah, he did. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about how he played Michael. What I'm talking about is that the script was whack. That's what I'm talking about. Red Girl. Yes, the part when he was in the hospital and his mother said, "I should protect you." He said, "Yeah, over 500 million, half a billion." Yeah, when he was in the hospital, he told his mother he didn't want to talk about her and that she should have. Okay, I think it got cut off right there. Michael says they have already finished shooting some parts for the sequel. You can look it up. Okay, I'll look that up. Oh, well, yeah, I feel you, Manifest. If they do the part 2 the way it has to be done, it's going to be a sad movie. Tantum says Paula Abdul was Janet Jackson's choreographer. Yes, she was. For all the time or just for some videos? Red Girl says singing and she should have been protecting him. And they also spotlighted him starting to take pills. Yeah, they did. Kamala Harris was DA in San Francisco at the time of the trial, so that was false. Well, we'll have to look that up because Janet Jackson does have some hate against Kamala Harris. There's 3 guys on here I'm friends with that look like Michael. 1, Fabio Jackson. 2nd is Window. I know about Fabio. Fabio was the one that was really critiquing the movie about not getting casted as Michael. But like you said, it wasn't really about who danced like Michael or sang like Michael. It was more about who acted like Michael. And like I said, I think the film really just focuses on not his childhood, but his relationship with his parents. That's what the film really focuses on. Red Girl says, yeah, there's a money grab because the only one has benefited is his lawyers. Yep, they're the ones that run the estate now too, right? Even though his mother's still around, which is very interesting. I wonder if she runs the estate still. Jafar may as well keep playing his uncle. Yeah, I mean, who else could play him at this point? Terry, who gets all this money? The studios, the producers, the people that run the estate. The estate, exactly what you just said right there. I would hope his mom does. People like Jafar, but I think they're projecting Michael onto him. Yep. Jermaine is the new Joe. I could definitely see that. Michael Jackson was taking pills because he suffered from, yeah. I mean, YT. Okay, so you're responding to them. Yeah. Okay. Let me play this Janet Jackson song, give you guys a second. Chat some on yourselves. I'm going to be right back because there's another part and the main detail that I want to say that has been forgotten too in this movie. I thought it would be easy. Now I know I've got to. Now I've got a lot. You sing. Get what I want. Never gonna stop. Now I'm all on my rebel. That's right. I'm on my own. I'll call my own shots. Thank you. Got my own mind. I wanna make my own decisions. When it's the beat of my life, my life. I wanna be the one in control. When the take by the hand and lead you to the stand. But I tried because I took a chance. Don't know who would run the life. So make your life a little easier. When you get the chance to take, you know it. Now I've got a lot. You sing. That's right. It's what I want. One time. Never gonna stop it. Now I'm all grown up. If you're on my own. Now control this. Harry, right now. Right here. Jam. I appreciate y'all, man. We going in on this stream today. We going in on here. Let's keep the likes coming in too, man. Keep the likes coming in. All right. When did Janet Jackson drop? And I think I've already been going on for an hour, but I think we'll still go for another. And I'm gonna start doing these more often too. So you guys tell me if you guys like these types of topics, because I also want to speak on hip hop and the rap culture and what was going on in Rolling Loud. But I'll do that on another stream. So if you guys like these topics, thank you for the likes coming in. I appreciate you. Just you know, let me know. Blue Storm, shout you out. Thank you, Blue Storm, for the follow. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. All right, Janet Jackson, when did she drop the All Right? That's one of my favorite songs by her. Not to mention I love Rhythm Nation, that album. She dropped All Right in 1989. Y'all remember that song? Let me just play a little clip of it. It was on Rhythm Nation. This is not too long after Thriller, after all that's going on. I mean, come on, man.
It's odd. If something's free,
let's be honest.
people just...
Janet Jackson is probably the closest to Michael that we're going to get right now. That's the closest to Michael. I mean, I guess maybe we can kind of say Jafar now. But as far as like a performer and someone who's a singer that like will listen to their albums, I think Janet is the closest. I wish I could play the video, maybe probably. Can you guys hear this? Bro, there's so much Michael Jackson influence in the song and on this album. All right, so we get it, right? Classic, right? Can't dig. Thank you for the follow. Red Girl says that no, Jafar needs to be himself. He doesn't want to get typecast. You know what I think, Red Girl? I think it's too late for that. I think he's already going to be typecast. Let's see. Yeah, Manifest says, I wish he did other minor roles before taking on Michael. Yeah. Michael Jackson has, breaking records and the Lawyers. Thriller is also trending on the Billboard charts as well now. Thriller is also going back up on the Billboard. And if I didn't say it yet, Scanding, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Thank you for some of the likes coming in. Let's see if we can get it to 2,000. The good thing about Janet Jackson, yes, she got Michael Jackson influence, but she made her own way. Exactly. I agree with you 100%, Red Girl. Shout you out. And I hope you guys are following too, because like I said, we're going to do more of these. Plus, I have got to speak on the hip hop culture. But I'm happy to say that I grew up a Michael Jackson fan too. I didn't just start listening to hip hop. Well, rap music wasn't really big yet. Rap music for me didn't really start getting big till like 89, 90. So earlier beyond that, I was listening to Michael Jackson. Like when I was like 9 or 10 years old, I was rocking Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? I grew up around the Bad era, but I went back and I listened to Thriller, And yeah, shout out Blue Storm 4. You say there's only one MJ. I completely agree with you 100%. I'm so tired of all these people trying to compare Drake and Chris Brown and all these people to Michael Jackson, Kanye West. It's like, come on, man. None of them are on MJ's level. None of them. You know what I'm saying? And they could copy Michael Jackson as much as they want, but none of them are on his level. Not at all. I completely agree with you. There's only one of him. I'm just me. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Yeah, like I said, man, I'm going to try to be up on here 10 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Friday, talking about certain topics. Thank you, and we got it to 2,000 likes. But like I said, man, there's a lot of parts that are missing in this movie that I felt, like for instance, like I see this come up on my feed right now with Quincy Jones. I feel that there was a lot more that they could have went into detail and into depth with regarding Quincy Jones. Like, let me just speak on that factor for a minute. They just showed little clips of Quincy Jones, whereas if you know, then you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know, you're going to be like I would like to see what Quincy Jones's kids think of this movie, because they actually had somewhat of a relationship with Michael Jackson, especially, what was her name? Kenyatta, the one that was with Tupac. Yo, and like, it makes you wonder too now. Well, no, Tupac was after Michael Jackson, really. So, I don't know, though, man. You know, she was dating Tupac at the time when she was doing stuff with Michael Jackson. So, you know, it kind of makes you wonder if she ever introduced Tupac to Michael. That would be wild, right? But, look, Quincy Jones's daughter was dating Tupac, right? And she was also doing a lot of styling and working with Michael Jackson. Now, I'm not saying that needed to be put into the movie, but I feel that Quincy Jones was like a bigger role in Michael Jackson's Thriller upbringing, and they did not show really any part of that in the movie. Now that I go back and I think about it, I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think, man? Red Girl says, I'm telling you, MJ has, yeah, okay, yeah, we had said that, yeah, and the lawyers are making the money. I agree with you on that. That's probably where this comes from. Shout out Bernard. Thank you for the share. Arlene says, or shout out Arlene. I appreciate you. Please follow the channel beatGrade. Thank you for the likes coming in. Yo, like, I'm a big fan of Quincy Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have some of Quincy Jones's records, okay? And I'm just thinking, like, there's so much that's also being left out from Quincy Jones. Like, I don't see, there wasn't really any detail of it. So my point is this, is that if you're just a person who's going to see the movie for the first time, and like, let's say you don't really know anything about Michael Jackson, like, you're just like, oh, I'm gonna go see this movie, and hopefully this movie is gonna tell me about Michael, you know, about Michael and the Jacksons and all this. I'm gonna learn everything from watching this movie. No, it does not do that. Like, if we're just watching it from a point of view of like, oh, this is a great movie and this is entertaining, and I loved when they were doing Human Nature and Thriller and Beat It, and it just reminded me, like, I like this scene too where it shows him in the music video, right? And he's doing the dance sequence for Beat It, and he's like got the Bloods and the Crips there, and he's like showing him the dance moves. I liked all that part. That part was dope. But does that really give us the detail of who Michael was? You know what I'm saying? Red Girl says, American Dream dude, the problem is nobody wants the dirty laundry put out. Yes, I agree with you. Arlene says, you couldn't put all of that in, otherwise it would be a 10-hour movie. That's what some people said. I think it could have been at least a 3-hour movie. It was a 2-hour movie, and I feel that there were a lot of details that they put in the movie that didn't really need to be in there. Like the fact that he was talking to all his animals. You know, like he was talking to the llama, and then he was talking to the snake, and then he was playing with bubbles. They did way too many scenes of him with the animals. Like, I get it. They could have shown a little bit of him playing with the animals and the giraffe walking through the front yard. Okay, yeah, I get all that. But I feel that also they showed too much of that. They could have cut that down a little bit, and then they could have showed other scenes that were probably more important, that were more pivotal. Like, I like the fact that they put the MTV scene in there, and we could talk about that later. But that was good. That MTV did not want to play black music, did not want to play black artists, and Michael Jackson was the first one who broke through MTV and was like, yo, you have got to play Billie Jean. And like I said, for those of you that were just joining in, the Billie Jean story is a great story. And as a matter of fact, when I heard the Billie Jean story, I heard it told from Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones was the one that spoke on how the song Billie Jean came about. I feel that that's an important detail to put in the movie. How Billie Jean came about, man. The kid is not my son. Like, that's an important part, man. Somebody trying to say that Michael Jackson's the father of their child. Like Billie Jean's a great song that everybody sings, but I don't think they really understand like what that song means or where that song came from. This dude had a stalker. He had a stalker, yo. A serious stalker. Like a stalker who was like mentally crazy. Hopping over the fence, hanging out at his house. Pretending that he was the father of her children. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild, man. Yeah, they didn't show none of Michael's love interest. Well, this wasn't Michael's love interest. This was a stalker. That's why he had the song. That's why he says in the song, Billie Jean, the kid is not my son. His eyes look just like mine. On the dance, on the floor, in and out. I also thought the birth of sins would be included or at least touched in the movie, especially Thriller. Yeah, I agree on that. Make sure I'm not missing any of you guys' comments. But you're right, though. The love interest. Well, like they said, maybe they'll speak on it on the sequel. But the sequel's going to have to go in, man. The sequel's going to have to go in. Yeah, they need to talk about Stephanie Mills. Yes, I remember somebody said that he used to date Stephanie Mills. He loved her, but his father did not want any dark people, I guess. Yeah. Marilyn Monroe. You mean Marilyn Monroe? Marilyn Monroe? I'm not sure about her, but I think she was a little bit before Michael. Yeah. They're going to have to do a sequel. I don't know if her name was Billie Jean. I think he just called it Billie Jean. Kid Cudi says he. Exactly. He. They're going to have to do a sequel, but now let's be honest, y'all. What movies out there do you do a sequel on that are usually good? Most of the movies that have sequels are usually trash. So I'm really afraid if they do a sequel that so many people are going to be like, I mean, this is terrible, man. This is why I'm assuming everybody that's in this chat, we've all seen the movie, which is awesome. And I felt like I needed to talk about this. You know? I felt like I needed to talk about this. Red Girl says they need to talk about the part that the father abused all the kids and the mother. Oh, they can't do that in today's world. Yeah, I heard Jafar confirmed it. I'm going to have to look that up. The American Dream is good. Yo, I say this. Can we all do this? Can we all do this homework assignment? All of you that are on the chat right now, I appreciate all y'all. Thank you, Elvis Presley, for the follow. How interesting. And we'll talk about the Elvis movie in just a second. I watched all the music biopics. Okay, I didn't see the Bohemian yet. I'm going to go watch that one. Oh, let me tell you all this though. Do you guys have Tubi? Y'all have Tubi, right? If you guys have Tubi in the chat, say yes. Say yes if you have Tubi. Cuz I'm going to tell you, I'm going to drop a gem on you guys right now. Yo, go watch the Milli Vanilli movie. It's on Tubi right now. The Milli Vanilli biopic. It's on Tubi. That one was better than Michael. All right. Go watch the Milli Vanilli. Thank me later. I watched the Milli Vanilli one. Y'all know about Milli Vanilli, right? The girl, you know it's true. With the lip syncing in the music industry. Yeah, it was sad. The Milli Vanilli documentary, or not, it wasn't a documentary, it's a biopic. I feel like the Milli Vanilli one was better than this one, was better than Michael. I feel like at least Milli Vanilli went back and it showed them their childhood, showed them coming up, showed like them dancing and doing their thing. They talked as if, as if they were narrating what was going on at the time. Then it shows how they got discovered. It shows how they got screwed over. And that documentary or that biopic is about 2.5 hours long. And I feel like they covered way more detail. Whereas like this Michael movie was just showing, it was just showing him and his father's relationship. I remember one person said they should have called it the Joe Jackson movie. That's what it should have been called, the Joe Jackson movie. Yeah, The American Dream. That's the homework. How about we all go do that, man? You guys go watch the Milli Vanilli biopic for those of you that haven't seen it. Red Girl, you said you saw it, so that's dope. Kid Cudi says, crazy you brought up Tubi right now when I typed it. Dope. Hey, I'm a psychological mind reader. Yeah, let's go watch American Dream. This is online right now. You can find it for free. You can find American Dream for free online. I'm not going to say where because I don't want to get the video, whatever. Yeah, you're right. Cuddy says the new Michael movie is from Jermaine's viewpoint, not Michael's. Absolutely. And that's probably why Janet didn't want anything to do with it. Red Girl says they cover way more detail in 2 hours than Michael. Yeah, you're right. The Milli Vanilli movie, I felt covered so much more, like the drugs and all that stuff. They didn't talk about none of that in the Michael movie. They just showed like little clips. But I guess it's like, they didn't want to go that dark, I guess. You know what I'm saying? For you, Rose says you're right. I saw the Michael movie this past weekend and I was very disappointed. Thank you. Yes. For you, Rose, shout you out. I appreciate your comment. Yeah, you're so right. Yeah. I was kind of disappointed too. Shout out Kid Cudi for the follow. I appreciate you. They didn't even show Joe killed Ben. Great. Yeah, I forgot about that. Was that true? Did the dad kill the rat? I think you're right. I think Joe killed the rat. I forgot about that. I remember hearing about that. Yeah, and you saw him playing with Ben. You saw him playing with Ben in the movie for a quick second. They didn't even show that he killed that rat. What happened to that rat? The rat just disappeared in the movie. They don't even say how. Red Girl says how big they were more mesmerized that he can move like Michael, but not really telling the story. Yup. Right. I agree with you, Red Girl. Yeah. That movie glorified Joe to a degree, but it also made him look like an abuser too. It also made him look abusive. And it made the mother look like she was the strong one or she was the one that cared, which might have been true, but I don't know, man. I don't know. She never really talks about the story. She never really talks about it. But it seems like, come on, let's be honest. Women were a little bit different back in those days. Y'all supported a man's dream. If a man said, hey, yo, I'm going to go do this and you're going to follow me and you're going to help me do this with the children, I think women back in those days were more like, okay, yeah, let's do it. Whereas nowadays they're going to be like, what? Like, man, you need to get a job. You need to get a real job. Yeah, you're right. In the American Dream, it showed him, doing that to the rat. This was Jermaine's effort to push his son into stardom. Well, obviously on that, For You, Rose. Yeah, it's clear. It's clear that Jermaine is living vicariously through his son. He was abusive and the mother was a wimp. That's why Michael was mad at her in the hospital. Huh? Yeah, I could see that. And Jermaine ain't a saint. He effed Randy's ex. That's what we were just talking about, Kid Cudi. For those of you that joined in, that's my Jafar on here. Yep. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Jermaine had children with his brother Randy's wife. Crazy, right? So they both have kids. Randy also got kids with the wife. I forgot her name. We could look it up. But Randy got kids. Randy Jackson, the younger brother that wasn't mentioned in the movie, by the way, he had kids with a woman who also had kids later on with Jermaine Jackson, and that's where Jafar came from. So Jafar has brothers and cousins. They're brothers and they're cousins. But they're definitely not going to talk about that in the movie. He was beating on her too because one of the cousins said it. I wouldn't doubt it. And Jafar, And Jafar is his get back to glory. He was jealous of Michael. I could see that. Maybe. They didn't bring up Jehovah's Witness either, but they did say one part. I did catch that in the film. I think when the mother was speaking to him in the hospital, like you said, and she said to him, that's what Jehovah would want. They did say it, but they didn't go into detail with Jehovah's Witness, but they did say it at one part in the movie. Because yeah, Michael Jackson doesn't celebrate or didn't celebrate Christmas or birthdays. So it's going to be some confusion with them kids and jealousy with Jermaine's kids. Yeah, probably. Red Girl, I definitely think that. Hold on. Kid Cudi says that you were raised a Jehovah's Witness too. Catherine is still a Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, I believe she is. Jehovah's Witnesses, man. I remember I got approached by a couple Jehovah's Witnesses once. I got to say though, man, y'all are some nice people though. Like, I remember one time I needed a ride to school, and a Jehovah's Witness gave me a ride to school. Manifest Love says, I love how you read every comment. I try to, man. It's hard. It's hard sometimes. Once it starts going crazy, it's hard. But, yo, I'm in here. I'm in the chat with you guys, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. Thank you guys for sticking around and watching me ramble about this Michael movie. I mean, I could talk about this Michael movie for hours, man. Like, I'm a Michael Jackson fan to like the core, yo. I feel this, and I'm gonna say this right here since we on this stream. I feel that Michael Jackson is the closest thing to Jesus Christ. Like, I've always said this, like, the closest thing that we had to Jesus Christ is Michael Jackson. I mean, you know, like, you know, since we're talking a little bit about religion and Jehovah's Witnesses and stuff like that, like, Michael Jackson was the closest to that. I mean, the moonwalk. I mean, let's talk about. They don't even talk about, like, when he was visiting all them kids in the hospital. They don't even talk about the fact that he healed some of those kids. Like, some of those kids met Michael Jackson and he, like, touched them, and then they felt like they just got healed all of a sudden. They don't talk about that enough, man, that this guy was out here healing people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they show pictures of him with the kids that were living with him. Like that one documentary that, like, kind of ruined him. What was the documentary? Finding Neverland, or one of those documentaries? Yeah, but they don't talk about the fact that he healed that kid. But Dave Chappelle talked about that. If you go back and you watch, I forgot which one it is, but if you watch one of Dave Chappelle's skits, he or his comedy specials, he talks about Michael helping a kid out. Like, damn kid, like, you still, you know, whatever. You got to go watch it. I don't even want to butcher it. But yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses are strict. I feel like things are more lenient now, but back then it was hard. Red Girl says, and I read Body Language, but I feel Jafar wasn't ready for this fame. It's a little bit overwhelming. I could see that too. Manifest Love, shout you out. Kid Cudi, bro, I said the same thing last night. Oh my God. The same thing about Michael Jackson being like Jesus. Yeah. Oh, thank you for you, Rose. I appreciate you. It's just me. It doesn't seem like the other siblings like Jermaine. Rebe and Janet wasn't mentioned. Exactly. Rebe wasn't mentioned either. Only LaToya. And then if you go back and you read the credits, LaToya was mentioned because she's one of the producers of the film. Kid Cudi, we got the same mind. He called himself the light of the world. His music moves and people. Exactly. Not to mention that he also did the moonwalk when Jesus would walk on water. Think about it. Red Girl says, I know, I'm not saying that Michael Jackson is Jesus Christ. I said that I believe that Michael Jackson is the closest thing to Jesus Christ. Like somebody who is at that magnitude of celebrity and fame and was healing people. I mean, he was healing people. Yeah, the movie showed him visiting kids in the hospital. True. Date of the birth. Okay. I'll have to go back and look at that, Blue Storm. That's an interesting concept of the dates I see that you have there. Huh. Okay. Interesting. He was definitely angelic. You know, like I said, Rebe don't want to be famous. She's focused on a relationship with Jehovah, to be honest. Yes, look it up. I know people, like I said, I know people that have met Michael Jackson before, and they've told me, and like I said, I've always been upset that I didn't get a chance to meet Michael Jackson as a kid. I know people that have met Michael Jackson before, and they've told me straight up, he's one of the few people that I've heard this about, but you guys will know what I'm talking about if you know this to be real. And they said that when they've met him, that they saw like an aura popping off his body. Like you could see like the aura coming off of him. You know what I mean? Like there's just like an energy. Like he had like a force field that was like around him. And it was like you could just feel it. You could see it. They said that it was so powerful that like you could just see it. I believe that. You know what I mean? And I just think that he had that power. Like he had that, like I said, like how he was doing his concerts and people were fainting. Thank you for the likes coming in though. And again, I appreciate all you guys' comments. For You Rose says the movie was trash, period. I don't know if I'm going to go as far to say as the movie was trash. I do see your point though, that I think that the movie could have been a lot better. I think it could have been a lot better. It seemed like it was a movie realistically that should just be made for TV. I don't know if it should be in theaters. You were surprised to see Lorenz Tate in the movie. He played Barry, yeah. And they didn't even show really the whole relationship with him and Barry. They just showed like little scenes like him in the studio and Barry Gordy telling him, okay, yeah, and just say you're younger than what you are. And that's it. Like I said, I mean, Barry Gordy, okay, you're right. The American Dream goes into way more detail with Barry Gordy. But not just that. I have to go back and watch The American Dream again. And like I said, yo, like we should all go do our homework. Like I said, there's 2 movies that you guys should go watch. Even if you have seen them, go back and refresh your memory. Go watch The American Dream. But after you also watch The American Dream, go back and watch the Milli Vanilli biopic on Tubi. Awesome. I might go back and watch the Milli Vanilli one again right now. Blue Storm says, they showed a little bit of tension between Barry and Joe. Yeah, like for a second. He lived in the frequency. That's partly why animals and children were drawn to him. Absolutely. Yeah, you got to go watch The American Dream. Because The American Dream is a lot darker. Like it shows them like hiding him from the groupies. Like they didn't even show none of that. They didn't even show that there were girls that wanted Michael Jackson too. Like him walking through the mall and the girls like ripping off his clothes and ripping off his stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe The American Dream was good because back then they didn't have to worry about all the laws like they have to worry about now. All right, let's see what you got to say, Lauren Evans. I always thought it was difficult to make a movie about an icon. Yeah, I agree. Who's no longer with us? Exactly. I agree too. Red Girl says, you believe that Michael Jackson had a purpose on earth. It was to bring people together, and even now that he's gone. I agree with you 100%. I mean, come on. Heal the world. Yo, this guy had power, though. They did show some people fainting in the audience, but I remember, man, watching those videos, watching MTV back in the days, and watching people just pass out in the crowd and have to be, like, carried over the crowd with security. Man, Michael Jackson was powerful, man. He was powerful. Isn't this like what they said about Jesus in the Bible? That Jesus would walk through the Bible. And I know we're going on a little bit of a deeper route here, but let's go here for a second, right? Kid Cudi and We Are the World, Earth Song, exactly. Which they won a Grammy for, him and Lionel Richie. But let's say this though, man. He was definitely persecuted like Jesus too. Thank you. He was crucified like Jesus too. The way this man lived his life was somewhat just like how Jesus lived his life in the Bible. Like how the Bible doesn't even really talk about his relationships. Interesting, right? The movie didn't talk about the relationships either, you know? The American Dream movie, they were all here and could give input. Michael can't give input anymore. Very true, very true. This is why they don't stay on, yeah? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, has anyone driven by the Neverland Ranch? It's right there in Santa Barbara, I believe. You guys should go check it out. I think the guy who owns the grocery store, Ralph's, I forgot his name, but he actually owns Neverland Ranch. Crazy. Guy who owns grocery stores. bought Neverland Ranch. What was I saying though about the American Dream? Yeah, I think the movie just goes a lot deeper into showing, his dark side. But I don't think I got to go back and watch it again because I don't know. I don't know if they covered bad. I don't know if they really covered that error or the allegations. You kind of have to cover that though. I think they could have. Listen, they had 2 hours to do this movie. They could have covered all of the parts in 2 hours that were important. They could have started from him being a child to him being a teenager to him being an adult to him doing bad to him getting his kids to the unfortunate situation that happened with the doctor. He could have gone. They could have did that in 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. Maybe it might have taken 3 hours. But they could have did it. Do it. Right? There's some movies out there that are 3 hours long. Isn't there a biopic out there? I can't remember, but isn't there like some kind of biopic out there that's like 3 hours long? I mean, come on, man. Quentin Tarantino. I think Django's like 3 hours long. Wasn't Ray like 3 hours long? Yes, Manifest Love. Michael believed that music is healing and believed he had to stay humble for God in his gift. I agree with you on that, Lauren. How do you think the various controversy surrounding Michael's life will be addressed in part 2? I'll answer that question in just a second. For you, Rose, I'm wondering what is supposed his kids think about the movie. Well, one of his kids was the producer of the film. I forgot his name. Was it Prince? One of them kids? Yeah, he was a producer of the film. Yes, Red Girl, I agree with you on that. His son Blanket was a producer too. Yeah, exactly. Blanket. Yeah, they could have did it in 3 hours. Yeah, it was poor writing. I agree. Dude, yeah, the American Dream is 3 hours long. Exactly. Blue Star 4. I think we need a Michael Jackson therapy group. Absolutely, yo. That's why I'm doing this stream. Man. Because I hear so many people talking about it, but not enough people talking about it. Yo, that's classic. I think we need a Michael Jackson therapy group. How about this, man? I'm going to do the Michael Jackson therapy group all week. Yep. I hear you on that, Kid Cudi. Yep. Thank you, Lauren, for the follow. I appreciate you. Now this movie has been better, yes, because it didn't give you anything, it just showed the concert. Yeah, I agree with you, Red Girl. Yeah. I'm gonna go see the movie again. I'm gonna go see it again. Yes, please. All right, Blue Storm, I got you. Lord says, I've also heard people say that they sanitized Michael in this movie and made him look like an angel. Yeah. Is Kid Cudi the Christian rapper? I forgot if Kid Cudi is a Christian rapper. I just saw somebody's name in here that looks like Kid Cudi. Shout out Kid Cudi too. I think you follow. So shout out or Kid Cudi for the follow. Yeah, I mean, man, I'm actually disappointed that they're gonna try to do a part 2. I'm disappointed that they're gonna do a part 2. They need to just keep this as a part 1. I mean. Oh, nice. That's where your username came from. I wouldn't doubt it. I feel that now they have to do a part 2. There's no way that they can let that just slide the way it is. You know what I mean? There's no way. But they should have made the movie so good that there didn't need to be a part 2. Yeah, I feel you on that for you, Rose. The movie was a joke. Maybe I'll buy like a movie ticket and then I'll just sneak into that movie. You know how people do? Like we used to do back in the days. We go see a movie and then we go sneak into another movie. You know, I kind of wanted to see The Devil Wears Prada. So maybe I'll go see The Devil Wears Prada. I'll pay for The Devil Wears Prada, but then I'll go see Michael again. You know? Yeah, Jermaine want that money like Joe. I agree with you. Yeah, Jermaine Jackson's a funny dude, man. if you watch him, yeah, I usually go on Tuesday too. It's just me. Yeah, you're right. They got the discounts on Tuesday. Yeah, if you watch Jermaine just on the previews and like how he's acting backstage and behind the scenes, and you got kids running around and stuff, he's still making babies. He has a kid by the name Jer Majesty. Jer Majesty. Luckily, the kid that played Michael, at least his name was Jafar and not Jer Majesty. That would have been crazy. But yeah. I just feel that yeah, man, I don't know what they was trying to do with this movie, man. I don't know what they were trying to do. Like, I feel like they could have took this to a whole different angle. Like, I thought it was going to be like American Dream, but better. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking that the American Dream. Let's not forget to shout out Terrence Howard, right? Terrence Howard's an American Dream, playing one of the Jacksons. Manifest Love says Jafar, and it said his own family didn't know he was working on the film for 2 years. Huh. What do you mean? What do I mean, bro? Rude boy. What do you mean? What do I mean? Explain what you mean. Oh, I didn't know that. Red girl. Ooh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. Huh. Yeah, it was good. The American Dream was good. Hold on for a second. Wait, I need to grab something real quick. Let's play the All Right With Me, Jan Jackson, real quick. Yeah, I believe you. I mean, the movie did come out a while ago, so, I believe you, Red Girl. Yeah. Yeah, I seen it online, though, right now. I was just watching it recently. And you know what I liked about the American Dream, too? Was that it showed, before the whole Jackson 5 thing started, it showed how Joe Jackson and Katherine Jackson met. Like, now, whether if that was true or not, I like the fact that they you know what I'm saying? They showed that. The movie doesn't portray any of that. It just starts off with them in the living room and doing the dance moves and trying to become the Jackson 5. And Joe Jackson already telling Michael, like, what he needs to do. And you need to look at me. And you need to do this and do that. That's how the movie starts off. It doesn't start off with, like, oh, how did Joe Jackson and Katherine Jackson even meet? Like, I mean, I guess that's why they called it Michael, right? They're like, oh, we're just going to focus on Michael. We're not going to focus on all this. Exactly, Rude Boy. That's what I was just going to say. It's called Michael, dude. It's not called the Jacksons. I was waiting for that comment. You right. Red Girl says, at least he was trying to fight him back in American Dreams. They made her out of a wimp and Michael. Yeah, you're right. What do you mean by requesting up, Rude Boy? What you talking about? What you mean? And actually, Joe Jackson is the star of the movie and Jafar. Yeah, you're right about that. Or Coleman Domingo, who plays Joe Jackson. Let's have an MJ karaoke night. They were already doing that in the movie theater. You know what I'm saying? They were already doing that. Oh, okay. I didn't see it coming in. Hold on. Give me a second. Yeah, let somebody else jump on here. J Boss says, you enjoyed the movie. However, there was a lot left out. I completely agree. That's what we're talking about right here, man. There was way too much that was left out. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I didn't see you right there. I'll let you jump on if you want to say something.
Yes, I do.
Oh, thank you.
Goodness. I'm a super fan. I'm sitting up there looking at this stuff right now. But there is a lot that was said subliminally in the movie, especially the part, so it's just kind of hard to type. Especially the part when she was talking to him in the hospital, and he said this. She said, Michael, I should have protected you. And he was like, well, basically, it's too late. He turned his back on her. And when the guy came, the one who was, I don't know, no, the guy who was with MTV, he wasn't with ended up bringing him the Mickey Mouse.
Right.
And
It was
he
the lawyer.
visiting
The lawyer was
wherever.
yeah. I know you're talking about the white guy. The lawyer though was who he.
Yeah, he brought
Yeah.
him the Mickey Mouse, and so he's basically visiting the kids. They got to showcase that. But when he said this, he walked off. He said, "I'm getting tired now."
Mm-hmm.
Subliminally, they're telling you that he's starting to like those drugs. Okay.
Right.
They need to talk about that. They need to talk about how did he get to that, because a lot of people don't understand that Michael Jackson had arthritis, he had lupus, he had vitiligo, he also had the burns. I know because I got a burn the same age that Michael Jackson got a burn. Had to learn how to walk all over again. I am 59 now and still have pains right now with my legs. The burns, it's you can just barely hit your legs or hit the spot where it's at and skin to come off because it's not like your regular skin. It's painful still.
Right.
So understanding him being in pain, but you gotta, it's the trying to go to sleep. I was in the industry. It's hard waking up when they want you to go to the studio, go to here, there. It ain't easy to go to sleep. It's up to you not to go take those drugs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's not easy. Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing. I know I was reading your comments, so it's better to have you speak on that. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's not easy because the industry, that's why I'm glad I didn't make it. And I'm scared that my son, he's trying to do it right now. And I'm praying for him. I'm letting him know, look, it's a lot of stuff in that industry because they'll try to get you caught up.
Yeah.
Especially if you got good music, they'll try to steal your music. They'll try to sexualize you.
Yeah.
They'll try to do all kind of stuff to you.
Yep.
You gotta be strong. And I was like, I can't do this. You know what I'm saying? It's not me. You know, when you did not smoke, drink, and get high, you will be doing that.
Right.
You'll be caught up if you want that life.
Right.
It's not what everybody think it is. It's not glitz and glam. Michael Jackson said, yes, I want this, I want that. He did a lot of affirmations. He wrote down that this is what I want to do. He believed, hey, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do it and I'm going to make it. He did. But when they seen that black man making all this money and then everybody falling out, yeah, he was like a Jesus Christ like. But you know what I'm saying? They fell out. Them white people couldn't understand why. He was a money maker. Money maker. Oh, we gonna put him out there. The last of his This Is It album, Michael Jackson was not in the best health.
Oh yeah. That's on Tubi too right now. You can watch that. This is it.
Best health. He was man, he was like 112 pounds, they said.
Can I jump in right
Yeah, Rude Boy. I know you've been wanting to jump in. So what you gotta say?
I appreciate that they left out certain things. I mean, don't feed the masses what they want because a lot of people want all of the negative in just because all of the demand is for us to show him in their life. When we know when they make their movies, they clean up everybody, so we already know the truth. This was a celebration. Kids are out here treating this like a celebration. They turned the movie into a concert, bro. So I appreciate the love and respect. I mean, we all know the facts, and ain't nothing you can put in a movie that's going to change hardcore people's opinion. So no, I don't want to see none of that. I want to see where you show somebody they got it out the mud, they did the work, they put it in, and look what happened. They became the greatest. So I appreciate exactly how they did it. I hope they do the same thing with part two. And the only thing I would appreciate in part two, show how the industry actually tried to do him. You give the people the real story. Don't give the people the story they think. Let them see what the industry tried to do, and let them see what talent brought him through.
I agree.
I agree with that. That's what you said. Yeah, what you said is very similar to what Spike Lee said. That's what Spike Lee said about the movie. You know, who also directed the what was it? They Don't Care About Us video that he did in Brazil. But what were you gonna say, Lauren? You were gonna say something?
Yeah, they didn't talk. I wanted them to go into the whole, not necessarily the Sony thing, but the thing with him buying the Beatles and how that was.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
And then how he had the nerve to get mad about him buying
You talking about Paul McCartney? Paul McCartney with the Beatles.
Outbidding him. Right. So, how you gonna get mad at me for making a business move that was your idea?
So, because it was the audacity of a black man.
Exactly. And then y'all gotta remember something. This is the first movie. I mean, it's gonna be many movies. You're gonna get the mini series. You're gonna get everything out of this. This is just the beginning. Like the lady said, it's a cash cow.
Did you see? I have a question for you, Rude Boy. Did you see the American Dream?
I saw the American Dream. I liked it and I didn't like it.
I was gonna say, like, what were your thoughts compared to that from the movie compared to the American Dream?
I appreciate how much story we got. I didn't like the dude that played Michael Jackson. I thought it's like all his performances. You know, if you look at Michael Jackson, you can do the routines, but can you get that rhythm? If you can't get that rhythm, then you don't need to be on stage. And that dude just could never catch that rhythm. Now Jafar, I don't know how he did it, but he managed to catch that rhythm, man.
Oh, you did.
That's his uncle. He gonna study his uncle.
Well, yeah, that's also in his DNA too. It's in his bloodline.
Right.
So,
He did a damn good job. Can't take that from him.
but I don't even think that's why he got casted. In my opinion, I think he got casted because he has the mannerisms of Michael. I don't think it was really about like how well he could dance, because they could get a Michael Jackson like that dude. What's his name? Fabio or whatever that guy is.
Fabio can't dance with his soul.
Yeah, he can't. I like the other one, Michael Trapson. I like him better.
Now, what's the other one? Oh, he can really dance.
I forgot. Michael Trapson's pretty dope though. He's pretty dope.
He is dope.
But because he,
I subscribe to him on YouTube.
yeah, because he does like the trap version of Michael Jackson. You know. Yeah. Like, but you're right. Jafar definitely nailed it. He did a great job. But that goes back, like I said earlier. It kind of reminded me of like Demetrius in the Tupac, All Eyes on Me. He did a great job playing Tupac, but I don't know about the storyline. You know what I mean? Like he could play Tupac.
You have to sacrifice one to get the other. Like if you are the kind of person that prioritizes the person actually looking like the person they're playing, the script might be crappy. And then if you're sacrificing or if you're choosing to feel like the script should be more important, the person might not actually look like the person they're playing.
I mean, Jafar, I feel like he could have nailed it. He could have nailed it regardless. You know, I just think that
He did great acting. He did great acting.
like this is my pet peeve with the movie too, because I'm a huge Diana Ross fan too. It's like, how are you not gonna have Diana Ross in this movie?
Because she
She
said
couldn't
no.
be a part of the movie because she would be exposed for the person that she is.
Yeah, true. Because she was covered in American Dream. She was covered in American Dream, but
They put her, they glamorized her in that movie too, as if she didn't groom Michael Jackson. Get out of here.
Right.
ooh,
Michael Jackson was in love with her.
damn.
Yeah, and she played him. She
And she
played
did.
him.
What do you mean? What do you mean by she played him? I see you, Manifest Love. Shout out, Manifest Love. I see you. I'm reading your comments. Wait, so I just wanted to say because they're saying, yeah, I'm still reading. I'm still reading you. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, they were engaged to be married before. She cheated on him with a Norwegian guy that she ended up marrying.
How old was Diana Ross though?
Because I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. I was like, wait, hold on. What year was that?
When 85?
I don't know about that because they wasn't allowing all of that.
I'll check it right here. I got the Google right here. Hold on.
Yeah, look it up.
Was Janet Jackson or Diana Ross? I mean, I agree with you though about the whole. She definitely was a big part of it.
Every person that he dealt with, though, he gave a ring to. He gave a ring to Brooke Shields, everybody.
Yeah, you're right about Brooke Shields. I forgot about that one. And wasn't he kicking it with Madonna for a minute too?
Yeah, but he ended up breaking it off for her because she wanted to do some stuff he wasn't ready for.
Says that they were never officially engaged, but that she was incredibly close, a mentor, a mentee relationship that led to widespread, long stand out rumors of a secret romance.
Yeah, she was a predator. She probably got some
Oh yeah, that's right.
And she apparently they had some kind of thing going on because they showed up extremely late one time to a rehearsal, and when they got there, somebody was asking Michael, "Did you sleep with her?" And he was like, "You gotta ask Diana." They asked Diana the same thing, and she said, "You gotta ask Michael." What?
Well, they say
And then another thing, she went up there. You know how Diana, she like a slithering snake. She went up
Yes,
there
ma'am.
because they told her that she could not do the role. She was too old for it. So she went past everybody and asked her producers or whatever you have. You know, she probably did her thing. Well, got what she wanted. She said if Michael can't come, then basically she wants to be up there, Dorothy, and she wants Michael. And
hmm.
they said if Michael, I have two
Stephanie should have been the one
superstars.
to do that.
She said if
Stephanie
I
should have been the one to do
right.
that. She did the play too. She did the play anyway.
But she wasn't having that. Diana was not having that. Now you know,
Yeah.
Dirty
Yeah.
Diana.
Stephanie
Is that what that song is about?
dated Michael Jackson.
Is that song about Diana Ross?
Just
Yes,
probably,
yes,
I
it is.
believe it is.
And the lyrics, that song has completely different lyrics to what we originally heard.
What's the
They
lyric?
asked him. They actually asked him. I don't know because I've never heard it, but they asked Michael to change it because he was getting into it.
Shout
He
out
didn't know
Nola.
about Diana Ross.
Nola says that it
They asked
was.
him to take a couple of things off, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
Wow.
Well, that's it. Now Nola says that that song "Dirty Diana" is about Diana Ross. Manifest Love. I'm still reading the comments, letting y'all know that he says, what would he say? He says, oh, about the
Yeah, but not
engagement
for
ring.
him, but not for him.
Yeah, you probably right about the engagement ring. I didn't know about that. That's something new. I didn't know
Well,
about.
and Mike, you know, I don't know. Now I'm kind of getting frustrated. I'm keeping real. Now, some of his stuff, like Priscilla Presley, she was for play play.
Yep.
Was for play play.
They didn't put her in the movie at all.
Priscilla is his mother.
I thought that was an important part. My bad. No, I was going to just say real quick that I thought that was something that, I mean, that was later on in the '90s, right? But still, I feel like I thought that was going to be in the movie. I thought that was pretty interesting. That's Elvis Presley's daughter.
Yeah, but he did it. Mike always got a motive. Them Mighty Whiteys was upset about that.
Mm.
And just to think both of them are not here. That's crazy.
That's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
That is the crazy part.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That is the crazy part.
I'm not gonna go as far as to say it was PR and he didn't genuinely love her, or that she didn't genuinely love him. Um, but I will say that we don't know. I don't know.
I feel like,
Um,
he really loves Stephanie Mills. And Stephanie Mills will tell
he
you
did. He did.
what the relationship.
She talked about
But
that.
you know how
She talks about that all the time. She loves him still.
Yeah, she talks about that for sure. She definitely talks. They were dating in the '70s though, right? It was the '70s.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also and I talk about how I feel like Chris Tucker's career was sacrificed
Mm.
for that. And the
Right.
reason being I say that, and the reason being I say that is because he testified at Michael Jackson's criminal trial at the height of his career.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
So at the end of yeah, and I'm 23. I started being a fan of Michael's after his passing.
Wow.
So yeah, um,
That's
so
rare.
yeah, yeah, it is. Um, so Chris Tucker became his friend in '99, testified for him in 2005, and his career hasn't been the same since. Because when you tell the truth, you gotta deal with the repercussions of the truth.
Right. Right. And they don't like that. And that's what's frustrating. When you're wrong is your
They
right
don't like
and your right
anybody
is
who's
your
on
wrong.
who's not on the agenda. They don't like anybody who's not on the agenda. And the agenda right now, or the agenda has always been to prove that Michael Jackson's a pervert. Are you serious? First of all, I have a serious issue with people who bend over backwards to prove that Michael Jackson was something that he wasn't. Why do you want it to be true so bad that a grown ass man was touching on children? What is wrong with you?
Well, won't say nothing about the Orange Man.
Thank you.
34. You know why? From the beginning, they
or
need to
any
bring
man.
him down. This man was too powerful for him. Same thing they did to Jesus Christ. And I'm not calling him Jesus, okay?
No,
But
no,
they
no, no,
did
no.
that to him. The same thing.
Yes.
Like,
And
you
that
are
whole
too
term
powerful.
wacko
We can't get
jacko is super racist as hell.
right. Who are you? They said, who is this man? The audacity of him to buy my records. The audacity of him wanting to, to this man is known from heaven to hell to jail. Okay, all the way around the world. People falling out.
Yeah.
I remember that when he passed,
Mm-hmm.
I was working at the hotel with Flamingo. Okay, I was in the room
Oh, yeah.
12062. Never forget it. And I just couldn't
Yeah.
believe it. My whole family called me. I mean, everybody was calling me because they knew I was a Michael Jackson fan. I was like, I'm all right. I'm just trying to deal with it. Look, I had to take a whole week off to get my mind right. Cause man, everybody knew, and they don't want that. And just the
Right.
same thing they did to Chris Brown. Chris Brown is very talented. If he did not
Yeah.
jacked up with Rihanna, he would have been on top of the world. Okay, this man is talented, but they don't want that. They don't want it. We can't help it if we're
They
just
want
great
every black celebrity.
angelic beings.
I'm telling you, they have a hit list. They want every black celebrity to have an asterisk by their name.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe Bryant,
Right.
great white woman. O.J. Simpson, merch one.
I feel like they set him up.
Yeah. Michael Jackson likes kids. And furthermore,
Look Cosby. Cosby did his thing, okay, but they messed him up because he wanted to buy that TV station.
NBC.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, I feel like as an adult, if you don't like children, something is wrong with you. Because what kids do to you?
Nothing.
Right. So for people to say Michael Jackson is strange and weird for his caring and love of children is BS.
Yeah, I think so too.
All thing.
So can I ask you a question? Wait, you said something about Chris Tucker selling out or selling his soul. What did I just want to make sure I heard you correctly on that. Like, what did you mean on that? On some detail.
Who, me?
Yes. Lauren, right, with the Chris
I didn't
Tucker.
say anything about that. I
Oh,
said that
yeah.
when you tell the truth, you have to deal with the repercussions of the truth.
Oh,
And
okay.
his career hasn't been the same ever since he testified for Michael Jackson in 2005, and he made it known that he doesn't believe that Michael Jackson is a pedophile.
That's a good point.
Sad.
I never really thought about it like
Did
that.
to that man.
That's a good point. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
does stand-up comedy and stuff like that, but as far as his movie career,
Right.
yeah.
Even though they said they said they are supposedly working on another Friday with him. Supposedly, they're gonna do a Friday.
I heard about that.
Yeah, he's gonna be in it.
Every time and every time you turn around, Chris Tucker is doing a tribute to Michael Jackson. He's doing a movie where he's, impersonating Michael Jackson.
Of course.
That's actually how they met.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah, Michael Jackson was a fan of his.
Michael loved Chris.
Yeah, they
Yes, he did. They
yeah.
was best friends.
Yeah. I mean, who knows if they're gonna put that?
He would come to the house and everything.
Well, that's what Charlemagne said. You know, Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club. That's what he said, that if they do a part 2, that it's gonna have to be dark. It's gonna have to be dark, and it's gonna have to show the trial, show the allegations, and go through all that.
Address those first allegations. And the reason I'm saying that is because I guess Michael in the 90s, when that whole thing happened to him, he signed an agreement that said that the first family's names could not be mentioned in a film production.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to address that whole thing that happened in the 90s.
They probably would have to use, like, loosely based on a true story, or use different names, or switch the names up, stuff like that. Because yeah.
Yeah, because they had to film. They had to reshoot like millions of dollars of film to do the second part because they couldn't mention the names of those people.
Right.
Right.
And that's probably the reason why the movie, I think, in some ways probably left a lot of stuff out. Maybe because they had to, because probably people just were probably going to file lawsuits and stuff like that. if they were mentioning their names or like I think like Jermaine Jackson having children with Barry Gordy's daughter is kind of important. you know,
Right.
like even though it's a Michael movie, like Homeboy said, and I see he jumped off the call, but whatever. I was going to just try to address a few things that.
They need to tell the whole story.
Yeah, it's like it's a Michael movie, but it's like these other parts I think kind of all played a part into Michael Jackson, into a part of what he was about and how he came about the way he was.
They went to the victory tour, straight into the bad tour, but they need to they need to fill in those blanks.
Yeah,
About how
Jermaine wasn't part of that.
and
Yeah, Jermaine wasn't even part of that tour, right? It was Randy who was part of that tour. Like, yeah,
half the tour, and during half the tour, Jackie wasn't even part of the tour because he was recovering from knee surgery because he got shot by Tina Turner.
woo!
You know what?
I didn't even know that.
Shot by Tina Turner at her house.
Why'd she shoot him?
What did he do?
She shot him because he was over there looking for his wife in a very dramatic type way, and she had just got finished telling Tina Turner that Jackie had a habit of putting his hands on her.
I heard about that.
Wait, what? Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part. Can you repeat that part?
Okay, so she was okay. So the reason why Tina did that to him is because he came to her home looking for his wife, and she basically, I guess it was a defense mechanism because his wife had just finished telling her a story about how Jackie had a habit of putting his hands on her.
Damn. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, see, yeah. I didn't know about all that.
So he missed half the victory tour because he was recovering from knee surgery.
Yeah, they could have put that in the movie. What'd you guys think of the? On a side note, real quick, did you guys see the NWA biopic? Straight Outta Compton. What'd you guys think of that?
Did you see Surviving Compton, the Isha Lee movie?
Well, yeah, no, I just was thinking like, what'd you guys think about like as far as like a biopic? Like, did they cover what needed to be covered? I mean, obviously, some people were complaining about Dr. Dre, but people didn't put the part that Dr. Dre beat up D Barnes though. A lot of people wanted that in the movie, but they ain't gonna put that in the movie, especially Dr. Dre.
Please, Dr. Dre beat up a lot of people, especially women, and I haven't had respect for him since. Get out of here.
Yeah, but that's what I said. They didn't show that in the movie.
Dre is definitely, he's living by that. Get out of here.
Yeah, a lot of people were mad about that part.
Dre, he's definitely living. And he's getting his karma by having his brain issues.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a brain aneurysm.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about that.
And he ruined Michelle's career. Because she's very talented.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Very talented.
Yeah, they didn't put that in the movie either.
He's very talented.
Yeah.
But I shouldn't say this because I don't know. But I feel like just because Michael loves kids, this is the only thing they can get him on.
Yeah.
You know this. They're going to
Yeah.
find something.
Yeah, that's all it was. That's all it was.
Just too perfect. Let me ruin your image.
Yeah,
They
that.
did with Jesus. They said that he was a liar. He's the devil. He was this. He was that.
Yeah.
He didn't do this. And that's the same thing they did. They're going to persecute anybody that they don't like. Have you ever been to the point, like I'm a head shop steward, right? They do not like me because, first of all, I'm a black woman. Disturbing that whole crowd. Okay? So they're going to say she was rude and discourteous, which is a new word they learned. So I had to file on them because this lady said I was rude and discourteous, and I had a videotape of what I was doing. They said that I was moving my hand and waving my head. So if you're imagining what I'm saying right now, moving my hand all up in the air, you know how they say black women act. So I had to file on her.
The angry black woman.
That angry, I did file that in my work. I said you categorized me as an angry black woman, so now I'm filing on the labor charge. I won my labor charge.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you had to get them paper-wise, and that's what they knew. Let me discredit Michael. Let me take all his money from him. This man was a damn near about to be a billionaire. Okay?
Right.
If not already.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, if not already.
Yeah, he's a billionaire, but his estate and all of that is making wanted to get away.
It's like what Steve Harvey said. After you tell on me one time, you can change the name of my home from Neverland to Never Again Land.
Right. He didn't want to be there.
Right.
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 And I can understand after the whole, first of all, they had 70 people, 70 police officers and sheriffs and all that in his home to do a raid. I've never seen that, even for people that, off people.
Right.
But look what they did to OJ.
Yeah.
That's
Still getting the man. Still getting him. Still suing him.
Huh.
You know?
He's not even here. That's crazy.
Not, yeah.
But yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, got him, just tore him down.
70 sheriffs, and the district attorney, who is also no longer with us, I might add. The district attorney, Tom Sneddon, he actually went around the country after the 1993 allegations were settled out of court. He went around the country, from Canada to all these different countries, to find alleged victims of Michael Jackson. He couldn't find any.
Mm.
Then 2003 rolls around, and Michael Jackson does this stupid documentary where he's laying, well, not laying, but like a kid is laying on his arm, which, by the way, the person who did the documentary, Martin Bashir, he was the one who suggested that they lay like that.
Right. Right. Yeah. Finding Neverland or one of those documentaries. Yeah, I seen that one. That was the documentary that kind of ruined him low key. That was the one that ruined him, in a way.
Yeah, it was called Living with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Living with Michael Jackson or something like that, or Neverland. It had like the Neverland name in it too, but the way he put it in the title made it sound like he was a pedophile or a PDF, I should say. Should probably say that so the stream doesn't get flagged. But yeah, they Finding Neverland or something like that. But I seen that one.
So,
It was the Indian dude, the Indian journalist.
the Indian British guy.
Yeah, Indian British guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were trying to do Michael, boy.
David Shaw. So he did the, now, Michael being so naive and not being able to catch what the hell somebody is doing to him, he said some things that were kind of, societally not, you know,
Appropriate.
yeah. Like even though, we know that he's not a weirdo and he's not like that, there's just certain things that he probably didn't know that you don't say. Like, you don't talk openly about sharing your bed with kids that aren't yours.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep.
You don't do that. But him being naive and not knowing that you don't do that, and him not seeing anything wrong with it because he's not doing anything wrong, he's like, well, why can't I say that? If I'm not doing anything wrong, why should I hide that I do that? Well, because of the way that society will perceive it.
You know what's so crazy? The kids call me Mama D, and I had sleepovers. I used to do the apartments. I live in the apartments, and we would get the kids on Mondays and Tuesdays, and I would always have stuff for them. And then we all was there. I was over everybody with the sleepovers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I had the kids there with me. They love me. But
Right. But you're a woman though. And the reason
Right.
I'm bringing that up is because this society, even though you should criminalize every person that you believe is a PDF,
right.
this society goes harder on men who touch on girls and boys than they do on women who get pregnant by their students and people that they're supposed to be babysitting and all that.
Like that girl. Remember the girl with the Samoan guy who was only 14 and the lady was the teacher? They turned around and got married.
Yeah, this society will sit up here and criminalize men for touching on girls and boys, but it will turn a blind eye when a teacher is getting pregnant by her 14-year-old students. Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's pedophilia. I don't care who it is.
Exactly. What frustrates me the most is what they're quick to tear a black man down. But what this president is doing right now is ridiculous. And everybody's
It's
coming
crazy.
out. with the, all kind of truth, all kind of evidence, and they still didn't do nothing. Because why? Because he's a white man, and that angers me. And see, with Michael Jackson, I feel how he feels. We're tired of this black and white stuff. Why? All I want to do is have everybody come together. What's the problem? That is a terrible thing. And would you say?
Okay, they don't want that. You know why I say that? Because look at all the people who fought for us to live together in peace and harmony. John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers. These are people who fought for us to live in peace and harmony, and they're no longer here either.
Mhm. Mhm.
You're evil. Pure
That's
evil.
crazy. So anybody who preaches that peace and love crap amongst people of different races, yeah, you gotta get out of here. That's
Mm.
not part of our
It's
agenda.
crazy. Did you see how much evilness is going on right now? All this segregating, separating. It is like these people do not. It's like they're really with a blind eye. I mean, scales on their eyes for real, and it's just like evil. What are you? You're spewing all that evil out for what? I always ask
And
a
Ron was
racist
trying to
person.
combat all of that.
Exactly. I always ask a racist person, can you tell me the reason why you do not like me? Is it because we're
And
great?
they normally can. And
They
they
can't.
normally can.
I put it up on
They
my
can't give
post
you a
all the
valid
time.
reason other than your skin color.
Mm.
Right, because we're great in anything and everything that we do. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say we're great. We're phenomenal beings.
Yes, we are.
I'm sorry. I gotta say what I gotta say, and they can't stand it. They
Mm.
Like
cannot.
I was on Instagram, like I was on my Instagram page, and listen, my favorite actor of all time is Michael J. Fox. I love him.
Me too. I love
Yeah,
it.
I was about to say, is that Michael J. Fox in your profile picture?
Yes, yes, it is.
I was about to say, I was like, wait, hold on. What's going on over here? Yeah, Back to the Future is a classic, yo. Back to the Future is one of the best movies ever. I'm talking about the first one. That's the best movie ever made.
Yeah.
It is. It's been voted
One
that.
of those people,
Yeah.
yeah, and one
And
of those
again,
people came up, and one of those people came on my Instagram page saying Michael J. Fox belongs to us. Find your own artist to like.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean,
you know what the crazy thing about it? Because he has allowed them to do and say whatever they want. I was walking down the street doing my exercise, and I had to catch on to what he said. As I'm crossing the street and going home, the guy says to me, "Next time, put on darker clothes." I'm like, "What?" And I realized what he said. I went crazy on him. I said, "So in other words, if you said that I'm dark, if you had darker clothes on, I was gonna run you over."
oh, damn. Where are you from, by the way? Where do you stay at?
I'm in Vegas in a suburban area.
Oh, okay.
So
Nice.
they feel like I don't belong here.
Yeah, it's good to know where people are calling from. What about you, Lawrence? What city you calling from, or state?
Oh God, I ain't even hate to say it, North Carolina.
Oh no,
I
that's
hate
not
to
bad.
say it because no,
I heard North Carolina is actually pretty cool. I actually heard it's pretty cool out there. Oh, not no more?
Okay.
But it's not the hood. They're starting to act the fool. Okay? Like I said earlier in the conversation, they're doing and saying whatever they want. He's allowed this to be the norm. Okay?
Yep.
I said, but listen,
Like this
again,
right
I
here.
have to tell those ignorant people, he has protection, you don't. You're a civilian, he's not. So whenever you act a fool, you can't get touched. We can reach out and touch you.
For sure. Like this, like my profile picture now, I recognize that in North Carolina, it would never fly.
What do you mean? Oh, why? Because people racist out there?
Yeah, like well, he's married, but me being with a white man in general, oh yeah, that would never fly.
I thought North Carolina wasn't that racist. I thought it was South Carolina that's super racist.
Child, they neck and neck.
They neck and neck. Oh, so North Carolina's still kind of racist. Y'all got J. Cole out there too? I don't know.
Sweetheart, it's a slave state. What do you expect?
Yeah. Oh man, that's crazy. I mean,
Racist out here.
Vegas. No, I got people in Vegas.
Free from a Trumper.
I know. I got some people in Henderson. I know out there in Henderson, Nevada. You know.
And if you don't leave and if you black and you don't leave Henderson by a certain time,
Which one? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
See you in the
yeah.
inline because I was over there by the pig farm in the deep part of Centennial by Aliante, not Centennial, Aliante. And it's I said, dang, when Trump first became president, I'm like, oh my God, they sure do have a whole bunch of Trump people. And the lady says, excuse me, what are you doing here? I said, America. So as I was driving, my friend she was like, Diana, don't say that. I said, shut up, girl. So her husband came passing me by with a doom buggy. And I
Mm.
was like, I don't care. I got you on film right now, and I got this spray, so run up. So he goes, you black bee.
Damn.
I said, I be that hanging low, and when you want me, let me know. Diana, I said, I got everything on film, so let me try something. And I got you felt a real life. So I'm doing the canvassing, and I have your address. You don't have mine.
Wow. That's in Vegas? I
Yeah.
thought people were pretty chill out there.
No, they not.
Mm.
Oh, no.
Damn. Damn. Okay.
It's gotten worse.
Oh, you serious?
Working at a hotel, I've been called Bonquisha Negra. I don't want to say that word.
Right.
And I said, your mama.
Damn.
I had not to do a room because it had a Trump sign. I was like, I ain't doing that room. They ain't getting that room done today. I've been called a nigger B, the N word with the R.
Oh man.
I've been called all kind of names.
Well, you working in the hospitality, so you gonna deal with that probably sometimes, huh? You gonna deal with that customer service.
I customer serve them too.
Damn. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. I would.
Color Purple wise. Remember Color Purple?
Of course. Of course.
Yep.
Yeah. I was.
Have it right by me. Everything you touch gonna fail.
When she said she gave me a drink. Remember she gave me a drink? Well, that's my customer service.
You must cut that man's shaving hair.
So wait, I gotta ask you this. Well, no, that's a classic. Which one you talking about? The first one or the second one though?
The first one.
The Color Purple, yeah, because they got the other one with Taraji, right?
Oh, yeah, that one was trash.
That second one was trash. Right, yeah, the first one with Whoopi Goldberg.
The first one.
Yeah,
Whoopi Goldberg
The
in
first one
here.
that didn't win
and
any
Danny Glover.
Oscars. The first one that didn't win. It didn't win any Oscars.
That's good. You do your research.
That's her date. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing. And they still with it. They still see I came through. I'm trusting as far as I can think, sit or look at them. Because they be ready to do something at all times. And like I said, and I kind of got angry. I love Michael Jackson. I kind of got angry. I felt like he should have been like Joseph B. Baker. He should have had a rainbow cry. After they did what they did, guess who get the money? Them.
Yeah.
Them.
You mean the
And I'm
lawyers?
upset about that. At least you could have had a black, white, and a Chinese kid. I'd have been all right. You could have did a Jolie. Angela Jolie, I love that lady. I mean, I don't love her. I like that lady for what she stand for.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why a lot of people say that Michael was off because they know that if Michael came back to the States and did his dates, because he was set up for 10 days, not 50 like they did behind his back.
Yeah, that was wrong.
Yeah. So they know that if he did the dates, he would have made enough liquid cash to pay off his debts and keep his catalog.
And not only that,
They
it
wanted
was
that
supposed to be a
catalog to get back.
residency on the strip.
Yep.
He would have shut it down.
Yep. Yeah. And they wanted that catalog so bad. And guess what ended up happening after Michael's passing?
What?
They got that Sony got that catalog back.
Sure did.
Oh yeah.
Sure did. And I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated.
And that's a catalog that's worth a lot of money too.
Come on now, it's worth billions of dollars.
Because when he got it, he was able to give people their rights back.
Right.
Like Richard, Little Richard.
Yeah,
You know?
have to understand. Michael did his own music, like artist music. He owned the rights to things like the James Bond theme, the Happy Birthday song we sing every year. Like, come on now.
Yeah, little stuff like that. And people didn't look into that catalog. That catalog had a lot.
Like, yeah, people try to cheapen it and just say he just owned the Beatles catalog. No, he owned everybody.
Right. And he was able to issue them their rights back to their songs. There's a lot of artists that he gave their songs
bought the rights to Eminem's music. He was like, "Oh, you want to play with me?
Right.
What
You
they
want to
say,
disrespect
excuse me
me?"
for being explicit, but what my mom used to say, you want to play with pussy, you're gonna get fucked. That's what Mike said. You want to play, you're gonna get fucked. It's explicit, but that's what they used to say. My mama and them used to say. But he said, you want to play with me? I'm gonna show you how to play. I'm gonna show you how
Damn.
to play this game.
Especially since you want to live off and make money off of the black experience, because you're white, sweetheart.
Exactly.
That's what Michael used to
What, you're
say.
a rapper? No,
Oh,
Michael never said that.
oh, okay. Oh, okay. That was I was about to say. I was like, wait.
No, no, my mom.
Oh, your mom
You
used to
talking
say.
about me? My mom used to say that. You
Oh,
want to play with pussy, you're gonna get fucked.
damn.
Okay.
Right. You said your mom was in the business too, or you were in the business for a minute, or was it your mom?
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, you said you were in the business for a minute, or
I
your
did the
parents?
singing. I did the singing.
Oh,
We
nice.
had a good group, but it was too much. It was too much, and I seen the evilness of it. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Mm. The record industry.
Like, I won't even stop, because I love rap music, but I won't even stop liking a particular rapper if I find out that you bending over to get that contract.
That part.
Huh.
And it's not like back in the days, like with Dinah Ross, she did a lot of, excuse me, sucking, fucking, sticking, and licking. She did it a lot to get where she had to go.
Ah,
Where she had to go.
right.
She got where she had to go. Get, okay?
This is a grown folks conversation. If we get you flagged, we will pay you back every time. I
Oh, it's all
promise.
good. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping.
Okay,
Like,
she
yeah,
did a lot
for a
to
minute.
get where she
Thank you,
needed
though.
to get. Okay?
Uh huh.
Dinah Ross ain't loyal to nobody.
Not even her husband.
Never been, never will be.
Not even her husband, who's Tracy Lee Ross's father.
We don't know who the Keita's father is.
Literally.
You got one from Barry Gordon.
Motown.
Oh wow, she was with Barry Gordy too, huh?
She was with Barry Gordy. She had sex with Eddie Kendricks. Yo.
She was with everybody.
Did she have kids with Barry Gordy though, or she
One.
just?
She had a one.
One daughter.
Oh wow, see, yeah,
Other other four is mixed.
interesting.
And every time Dinah
And
Ross
they're all
got with
Mexican
somebody,
because, you know, Barry
it was a
Gordy's
motive. Every last one of her baby daddies got money from somewhere. One was a prince, right?
Mm-hmm.
One was a
And
prince,
the Region Prince.
okay?
The Norwegian
One
prince
was
that
a
Michael Jackson.
producer, Barry Gordon.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Uh,
Those are two young boys, father, right?
one's like a Jewish attorney or something, or in the music business.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's one that's in the music business.
Dinah Ross always have a motive. She is not messing with you for no reason.
She's always messed with successful people.
Exactly.
All her kids are with successful people.
Right, because how is it that you can be married to somebody and y'all live on two different continents? That's not a
About the
marriage.
money.
Oh yeah, that's definitely about money in that case. I mean,
She was gonna make sure that she was gonna be.
that's why like when I see like no hate, but that's why when I see like Tracy Lee Ross, the daughter, like she's cool, she look good and all that. But yeah, I don't feel like I don't get like, oh wow, she's so talented. It's like, girl, like you're Diana Ross's daughter. Like that's why you got the success that you
One
got.
thing I have to give, I'm gonna tell the truth on that. She can act. Dinah Ross can act her ass off.
Diana Ross can't act. Yeah, I was talking about the daughter mostly, but yeah, she could act. Yeah, Diana Ross was good in that movie where she played Billie Holiday or something like that. I forgot which one.
Mahogany,
Yeah,
all of that.
but her daughter is what I'm talking. I mean, I like her daughter. Don't get me wrong, but it's just like she just act like
She's a good actress.
these are nepo babies. The nepo babies.
Never babies.
Yeah,
The
she's
reason why I like Tracy Ellis Ross because
Yeah.
I identify more with her because she's more down to earth. Dinah Ross wasn't to me. Dinah Ross was she only wanted to use people. You know, she
And I will say that I didn't even know that Tracy Ellis Ross was Diana Ross's daughter.
yeah. That's what.
she looked just like her.
Girlfriend.
Yeah, she keeps the name in her name, Tracy Ella Ross.
Well,
Yep.
I've never seen them together, and Diana Ross is not the only person with the last name Ross.
Right. True. True. Yep. Yep. That's her daughter though. That's her daughter, Tracy Lee Ross.
Yeah, but I hadn't known that when I was a kid because I grew up watching Tracy Ellis Ross on Girlfriends.
Right. I like
Yeah.
her. I think she's down to earth.
I mean,
You
she's
know,
pretty. I'll
maybe
give her that too.
eyebrows.
Yeah, she's pretty for her age too. Tracy, her daughter, you know, she's still doing it. She still be modeling on social media, throwing on them thirst traps.
Yeah, people say, well, why Tracy Ellis Ross ain't got no man? Well, because she don't want to end up like her mom.
Probably, yeah. I mean, because
Dating
she's like
somebody
50 now,
just
right?
dating somebody for whatever.
Right, because they
But
make
she be getting her
yeah,
variety of men. She get them, but she don't keep them.
yeah. She probably don't
You
care.
know.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying like she ain't young though. She ain't like a young girl. Like she's up. Not that she's old, but you know she's up there. Like you know what I'm saying. She ain't young. You know
For sure.
she
Right, she
doing.
about 40 something.
I think she older than
And
that.
the other one, she's not in the industry a lot. It's the one named Chutney, and then the one from what's his name? The all pure black one, the first daughter.
Yeah, I forgot her name. I
That's
forgot.
a
I
shame.
forgot. I forgot.
Yeah, they, yeah.
So wait, I have to ask you before I forget. I have to ask Lauren. So why Michael J. Fox though? Like why? What made you such a Michael J. Fox fan?
Okay.
I,
So,
I just have to know that
when
real
I
quick.
was 12 years old,
Uh huh.
yeah, when I was 12 years old, we moved to Baltimore to go to be so that my mother can be closer to somebody who is now her husband, right?
Mhm.
And I love him to death. And at the time, I was going to two schools, one in elementary and one in middle school. I hated it. I hated my experience there because I was being bullied there.
Okay.
And one time, I decided to stay home from school. And you know how you be at home and you flipping through the channels and stuff, and you be like, nah. But then I realized I was flipping too fast, and I was like, I've never seen him before. He's cute. I like him. Um, and so
Right.
I was kind of looking at him, and he was, you know, he was making me laugh,
Which
and
show was
you
you
know,
looking at? Family Ties
oh
or
yeah,
just?
yeah, I was looking at Family Ties. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's
And
funny.
he was making me laugh, and
Yeah.
I've loved him ever since.
Nice. So it was.
I think
Yeah.
he's a brilliant actor.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's
Yes,
good.
he is.
I mean, yeah, Back to the Future. Like I said, that's a classic. That's a classic. Back to the Future's in.
Found out that he had Parkinson's until I was 15 years old.
Yeah, that hurt my heart. I was upset about that.
Yeah.
That's my dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was upset. I'm like, why? He's such a good actor, and he's the activist about everything. He didn't see no color, no nothing. He's not a racist man, and you can tell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He cares about everybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know who I thought was so cute? Kirk Cameron. And
Yeah.
he turned out to be a Trumpster. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good.
That was way later though. That was way later though. You didn't like Kirk Cameron until then? You still liked him? Growing Pains. Growing Pains, right?
Kirk Cameron looks, he looks younger, but he's up there. He's about my age.
He's the one that put Leonardo on.
Is they tried to. What's crazy about that whole transition is they tried to make Kirk Cameron like a Michael J. Fox, and it's just like this ain't Build-A-Bear. You can't build another Michael J. Fox. You can't build greatness. Get out of here.
What about Jason Bateman?
He was funny, but he wasn't like Michael J. Fox.
They tried with Jason Bateman. Remember him?
Not at all. Hell no. I mean, he's Justine Bateman's brother who played.
Right. She was on Family Ties. Exactly. He's good in Ozark though, but yeah.
Exactly alike. I ain't lying, they do.
Yeah, and I love Jason, but he's not Michael J. Fox. I love Jason, but no.
Jason Bateman even did Teen Wolf
Michael J.
2.
Fox, he will always be relevant. The other people won't even think about that.
Right, right. I agree. I agree on
I'm
that.
gonna be honest. He's gonna be the reason. Because I'm be honest, he's gonna be the reason why we have a cure for Parkinson's disease if we get one in his lifetime.
I pray. I love that man. I really love Michael J. Fox.
Another Michael, right? Another Michael.
Another Michael.
I love. Yeah, I love him. My grandmother actually gave me this ring that she didn't want anymore, and I don't tell people that.
Mm. Mm. Okay.
Leave it to me. Leave it to me to say it. I've been married for 16 years and I love him to death.
Okay.
Jay Fox. That's your
Yeah, I love
husband.
him to death. Yeah, hold on. Let's see if I can turn this camera on. So I got lights on. Let's see. Alright. You see?
Oh wow.
I could barely see that, but I see what you're saying. No, yeah.
I can see it. He's got his arms
Yeah.
folded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's, yeah. If that don't prove I'm a huge Michael J. Fox fan, I don't know what will.
Well, you know.
And I used to be
But
like, oh,
yeah, he's so dope. He's a dope actor and he's a dope dude, and I hope that he's doing well. I follow him on Instagram too, and what my grandma would tell you that I will cut off a phone call with somebody if a notification on Instagram comes up and it's him.
Oh, I mean that makes
I
perfect
feel like
sense.
he has a lot to say.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean well, it's not really him, saying anything. It's mostly
I
pictures
like
of
him.
him, his wife, his kids.
Now that'll be a show that I would look at because my baby boy, he's 39. He loved Back to the Future. We would look at that show over and over again.
Never gets old, right? Yeah.
Back to the Future is a classic. Come on, now.
Yeah, it's a classic.
He's a good actor. Period. I love
Now,
him.
do I love Teen Wolf? Yeah, I love it. Teen Wolf is great.
Right. Back to the
But
Future.
I'm biased. I love all Michael J. Fox's movies, though. I'm biased.
He's a good actor. You gotta give it to him. He's a damn good actor.
Now, and if he didn't have Parkinson's, he would, be, probably, probably not still where he was in the 80s, because, come on. But he would be, he would be like
A box office.
he would be like a Leonardo DiCaprio, a Brad Pitt, a Matt Damon,
He would be an A-lister. He's still an A-lister, but
Yeah, he's still a A-lister. Yeah, everybody grew up on Back to the Future. Everybody grew up on that movie. So, I mean, like,
But what
that's
I
a
hate
classic.
about Back to the Future is that we look at Back to the Future and we glorify it, and when we talk about Michael J. Fox, we talk about Back to the Future as if that's the only movie he's ever done.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. He's done a lot of other movies and the TV shows. But yeah. But it's like, yeah, see, that's the thing about Back to the Future is that it's not just Michael J. Fox. It's also that it's a great story. Like him going back in time to see his parents. Like everybody always imagines what it would be like to go back in time and see your parents in high school.
not only that, he's an awesome comedian.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
goodness. Extra story.
Sorry, we couldn't really hear you right there. What was that? Yeah. Oh, I couldn't hear you. What was that you said?
They knew he was a superstar when he played in Family Ties.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Period.
Superstar.
yeah.
Period.
Because when it didn't they already cast somebody else? They casted Eric Stoltz at first.
They casted
Yeah, it was Eric Stoltz, and then they put Michael J. Fox in.
creator. After going to the creator of Family Ties, Gary David Goldberg, and asking for Michael one time and getting a no as an answer because their show was in full swing and he couldn't let them out. So they, went back and they got Eric. They shot for like what, 5-6 weeks,
Right.
and then they realized, yeah, this isn't working. This ain't funny.
Right. Yeah, Eric Stoltz couldn't do it. He couldn't do it, so then they put Michael J. Fox
Now
in.
he's a phenomenal. Now he's a phenomenal actor. Don't get it twisted. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Eric Stoltz is amazing. But he's not. Again, he's not Michael J. Fox. They needed a goofball, and Eric ain't that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So they did the movie with Michael, and the way they did this movie was insane. Michael would do Family Ties in the daytime, Back to the Future at night, and on weekends. So no more than so all of that
Oh yeah, you got to be serious.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, all that going out to the club, having sex with groupies, nah.
Yeah, Michael's dedicated.
Um, for sure. So he did the film. He did this for about 3 to 6 months, where he was getting only 2 hours of sleep, and for any human being, that is not healthy.
Hmm.
Oh, I wonder if
Because it's
that
like,
plays a role.
yeah, because you running off for 2 hours of sleep and some coffee. Like what?
Hmm.
You running on fumes? Like what is wrong with you? Um,
Yeah.
It
so
was
they would
also
come.
Michael Jackson how they wore him out too.
Yeah, for real. They were all these stars
They
like
knew
for
he
real.
couldn't do concerts. 10 was enough.
Nope.
50 was
Tim,
to harm him.
first
Well,
of all, I'm
So
23 and
he
I couldn't
didn't
do.
do it.
First of
Then
all, I'm 20.
a day or two later, he's deceased.
mm.
Yeah. See, first of all, I'm 23 years old and I couldn't do 50 dates the way that they had them scheduled back to back.
They were
I'm
wrong
not
with
doing
that.
that.
That's the way the entertainment industry is, though. So.
They knew it was like they said, a cash cow. They knew it. Oh, Michael Jackson. Oh, he could do this. No, he might have been able. If you look at the This Is It, the last
Yeah.
thing, he was keeping up with the dancers. Don't get me wrong, probably even dancing better than them. But his health wise, see, Comrade Murray, he needed to make some money.
Who is
Michael
that?
Jackson was paying him $150,000 a month, but they said Michael Jackson ain't got to say so, and he knew that.
That's
First of
crazy.
all,
Yeah,
first of all, Conrad Murray is a cardiologist, not an anesthesiologist. They didn't even have the proper equipment at Michael's home for anesthesia to be admitted to be administered to Michael.
right.
Hmm.
But he did it anyway
What?
because Murray was broke, and no one
Yep.
would do what Michael wanted them to do, but Murray did. Okay, all the propofol that he was not supposed to have. Then when he did
First of all, you don't administer propofol outside of a hospital.
right, and then when he did see, all right, anybody knows that you put the person on the floor flat, not on the bed.
That's what everybody
You
was
saw that
saying.
bouncing on the bed with your dumbass, but okay.
Don't do it. He broke all kind of ribs. Okay,
So do you think they did it on purpose, though? Do you think it was done on purpose?
Hell
Right.
yeah, it was done on purpose. First of all, when they sentenced homie, they gave him like a slap on the wrist sentence. If I did that to you, I would get life for that. Are you serious?
Exactly.
Mm.
They gave this man 4 years. He only served 2 for manslaughter.
And he went out and he came out. They should have charged him with murder because that's exactly what
Not only you were trying to hide the evidence, the LAPD they was like upset, but then again, look at it, it's a black on black crime. They don't care.
Mm.
Yeah.
They did to OJ and Nicole. They damn near gave them a share. And the
Damn near.
when I never forget it when he was running. He was like, no, hell no, I didn't do this.
Yeah.
There's a white woman out there, they finna get me.
Right?
He running.
Nah, for sure. And I get that because, and even when O.J. Simpson went to jail for stealing his own shit, I will continue to say that because it's exactly what it is. Um, when he went to jail for stealing his own shit, even they overcharged him. And right then and there, when they sentenced him, I knew they were sentencing him because they were mad because he got off in 1995.
Exactly. Huh.
They got
Yeah.
mad and they gave him 9 to 33 years for stealing his own shit. Do you know murderers get less time than that? That's crazy.
Right. But he still got out, though. But he didn't. Yeah. But it ruined him.
He got paroled after 9 years, but because
That's still a long time.
Down in their hearts, they knew that was ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. I mean.
For you to sentence a man to that many years.
But that's the next conversation, though.
Years.
That's the next conversation, though. Is but do you think he did it?
Hell no.
You don't think he did it?
Set him up.
No, I don't.
They set him up.
So who do you think did that? Who did that to them?
He called his mama.
let's be
Mama, I
clear.
did this.
Okay, let's be very clear.
Uh huh.
Yes, he did. But let's be very clear.
I did not do this.
But let's be very clear. Okay. Nicole was into a lot of nefarious things
Right.
after her divorce.
Okay.
Like they always play that recording of Michael of OJ yelling at her, of
Right.
OJ yelling at her, that 911 tape. And the fact is, he was yelling at her because she was doing things.
In front of the kids and over there getting taught her.
Yep, doing things in front of their babies, and and he didn't think that that was appropriate. Which he's right, that's not appropriate. Like what?
Okay.
Um, like at the end of the day, I'm their father. You can't call me and say I'm about to have company. I need you to come get these kids.
Right. No, I agree. Yeah. Okay.
Like, so, and he would have no motive to kill her. He was over her. He was dating somebody else. She actually wrote him a letter about a year or two before she was whatever.
You know,
About because I'm trying to find the right word so I don't get you flagged.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. You must have been on a lot of lives, huh?
yeah,
I have.
it can be off, and anytime I say something, they get me.
That's all good.
Yeah, for sure.
They and yes,
Yeah, but and I like you, so I'm trying not to get you flagged.
Oh, thanks. I
Um,
appreciate it.
yeah. So they, what was I saying? Oh,
You were saying about
hey,
you were saying about Nicole how she was in mischievous a lot of mischievous things and did a lot of things.
and then they
His wife.
played always want to play the sound bite of him uh, cursing her out, whatever you have it.
Yeah, on a 911 call. Wait, I think she jumped off for a second, but yeah, I was gonna say, you said that you don't think that OJ did it either, though, huh? It's interesting when I hear these thoughts from people.
Who did it? He's a famous black man, remember? Right back in the '80s, probably late '90s, he was real big at that time. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
famous football player.
of course.
They would do him, and at that time, you look at it, they were getting him. A lot of people got unalive. Biggie, Tupac. They had to get him. You know, he was talking. He was very intelligent, 25-year-old man. And not to say that he was not intelligent, but
right.
Tupac was
He
super
wasn't. He
political.
wasn't talking about the stuff that Tupac was talking about. That's for sure.
Exactly. Tupac was super political, and I love him.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was political because of his background. His parents were Black Panthers. Let's just keep it at that.
Right. Bill Cosby, they had to do him. They had it. Now R. Kelly effed up. He did some stuff, but he was a musical genius. Okay. He did some effed up stuff. They got him. I'm sorry. They should have sent him through tech therapy. Well, look at this.
Not even there. Well, first of all, his. Let's just be clear. Monsters are not created overnight, sweetheart. Okay.
Right.
His sister needs to be coming out apologizing to him for what she's done
Mm-hmm.
because she
And again,
is the one
monsters
who
are
set
not
him.
created overnight. That's why I
Right.
said therapy.
Right. She is the one who set R. Kelly on a course to be the person that he is. She, if you look at it, if you look at the documentaries that have been put out about him, um, his brother even tells you that he would do that to them, and that the same things that R. Kelly does to women, she did to him when he was about 7. Are you serious? Like she would do stuff like R. Kelly did stuff to women, like he would um make up some excuse for why they couldn't go somewhere or why they pissed him off that day, so that he could do what he's doing to them. And she used to do the same thing to R. Kelly, make up some reason why he couldn't go outside and play that day so that she could, do what she's doing to him.
And just like you said something earlier in the conversation, see, a lot of people will, say it's okay for it's a different standard when it comes to a man. They act like the men don't
Right.
exist. They do. You know what I'm saying? Thank
And
you.
they act like that's another thing I want to say. They act as if when a boy has that happen to them, they're supposed to like it because allegedly men like sex. Get out of here. Your 10-year-old boy is not supposed to like being molested by his 10, 20-year-old babysitter. Get out of here.
And they become like that. They become perverted.
Hmm.
Right?
Mm.
You know, things
Their
are so okay.
your child's first sexual experience is supposed to be with a person of their age, and they don't know what they do.
Yeah.
But it's a macho thing. Oh man, do that because I know my brothers used to have my little sisters and them out there with their girlfriends and thinking it's cute. It's not cute.
Right.
It's not cute. You
Because,
grew up,
ooh,
get
speaking of
touched
Michael
on
J.
those
Fox and Marty McFly, hi.
right. That was in there. You're right. You know,
No, see, yeah, it was, and that's crazy because if the roles were reversed and Michael J. Fox played a character that was chasing after a young girl like that, oh, it would have been a problem. Back to the Future probably
and
would
then
have
you
never been
look
seen
at it.
now.
Not only it was a molestation, incest. You look at a
Yes.
lot of these old movies.
Why is your mama chasing after you? Ew.
Right. If you look at a lot of these old movies, they spoke. Those movies said a
Because
lot.
yeah, because I'm gonna be honest. My mother has three kids. She has some cute kids. I'm one of them. Hi. But
That's
she
right.
don't look at us like that. That's nasty.
No.
Yeah, the movies were
Especially if
definitely
you do
different back
things
then.
like me. I
But
won't.
again, like we said, if Michael J. Fox played a character in Back to the Future where he was a dad chasing after this young girl that he don't know is his daughter yet, oh yeah, it would have been a problem. Back to the Future probably would have never been made if that was the case.
But it spoke a lot. What other movies
But
did
because we,
you look at it?
Well, it spoke a lot too, though. It spoke a lot too from a man's point of view. Like, oh, if you go back in time, and what if you found your dad was really just a loser? You know, like, because his dad was a loser and a punk, and he had to turn his dad to be cool. Like, because after he taught his dad how to stand up for himself, then it changed the future of his
yeah,
life.
it's like a pushover.
Yeah, so like there was a whole like great story to that movie. It wasn't just Michael J. Fox. It's like the way that story was written was great too. And that's what I was saying. Like,
I have to interject and say,
You ever
I have
seen
to
the
interject
movie?
and say that the only reason I watched it was because of Michael J.
I'm
Fox.
sure a lot of people watched it because of Michael J. Fox, but it was a good
Ever?
storyline though. Like,
Did you
Yes.
ever see the show? It's on HBO, not HBO, Hulu. Master. When the young
Yes.
black lady goes back into time, the slavery thing.
oh, I've heard of that. I haven't seen it, but I heard of it though.
Gotta see it. It's like, oh my god, and it's coming from the like the 2000s to the 1800s. But you gotta see it because she says a lot of shit because the boy said he was the master, right? He was the like yeah the master, and the young lady said that she did something to her. She said, "I'm gonna slap your face, wench."
Mm.
So she said, "Can I slap your face?" She was one of the slaves that talked back. She was like, "Who is she?" Oh my god, because she was a person from the 2000s. You got to look at that. I got like a million views on that, 300 and
Right.
something K likes because I
Mm.
put that on my
Yeah, because
Oh, you said what channel was that on?
It was on Hulu.
Oh, Hulu. Okay, okay, yeah. I will
yeah,
check for that. It sounds.
have you ever seen speaking of TV shows, have you ever seen a TV show called Shrinking?
Say it again.
Shrinking.
Nah.
Oh yeah, was it it's old, right?
No, Shrinking is new. It's on Prime TV. It's got Harrison Ford and yeah, it's Harrison Ford in it.
It's brand
And
new.
and I only started watching the third season because Michael J. Fox is in a couple of episodes. Um,
Drinking.
Have to check it out.
yeah, Shrinking. Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's dope. It's about a guy who first gets diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, and he's a psychiatrist, I believe. And it's about grief, it's about joy, it's about a whole bunch of things.
Mm.
But you know,
I think I've heard of the show. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I did hear about the show. Like Michael J. Fox is like a big time producer of the show too, right? He's not just in it. I think he's like
I
part
don't
of the
believe
people
he's a
running.
producer of the show. I don't believe that.
Oh,
But
okay. But I think I've heard of it though.
what he is a producer of. There's a TV show he is a producer of. He's actually the executive producer. Spin City is my show. It's my other show that I love.
Mm. Okay.
I love Spin City. It's a show from the 90s. He plays the deputy mayor of New York City.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Yeah.
Y'all ever really pay attention to? I feel like Django spoke a lot too.
Yes, he did.
Oh yeah. Of
Spoke
course.
a lot. And look, and you
Yeah.
know my show. People be like, but it did speak a lot. I love the first Planet of the Apes when they put it in the theaters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, that spoke. Whoopi Goldberg said, "Oh, that movie spoke a lot."
The original
I,
one.
I like
I
yeah,
love.
I like Django, but I like Django and but Leonardo DiCaprio when he was doing the film, he said that it was uncomfortable for him because he didn't like saying the N word that many times. He didn't like saying it at all.
Right.
No, a lot of people who are they're uncomfortable with it. You
And I
know,
can understand that because if you're not naturally racist, it would be uncomfortable to play a
like
racist.
Brad Pitt. I did not know he produced part of 12 Years of a Slave.
Yeah. He's
He
in it
did,
too.
and he was in it.
That was a good movie. I like that movie.
It was. It was. I'm gonna be honest. It was a movie.
Like 12 Years a Slave is actually.
Episode,
Yeah, that
you
was a
know.
good
But
movie.
you know what? Speaking back on Michael, the movie again.
Yeah.
All right, so a lot of people are speaking up on it, and we do have to talk about colorism in our race.
Yep. Yep.
We have to
Yep.
talk about that because my mother told me I was black and ugly, and you need to be with a white man. Because a black man ain't gonna want to be with you because you too black.
Damn.
You know,
What?
Your mom told you that?
your nigga was nasty.
Your mother told you this?
My mother said that. That's why my kids are mixed right now today. Because she put it in my mind, you got a big nose, big lips, snappy hair, and you ugly. She did the
Damn,
color
she sounds
purple.
like a female version of Joe Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say.
Jackson,
I don't see that by looking at your picture. Is this you in your profile picture? You look light skinned.
Nah, that's just a picture, but I'm brown. I'm brown. That's just a picture. But she said you ugly. She did the color purple on me. You sure is ugly. My mother said you ugly. I was like, damn. When I seen the movie Color Purple, I said I identified with that. So when I
I
seen
can't see that.
Michael Jackson, and
I'll let you in.
I really looking at the movie Michael because I said, damn. Did he just call him a big nose? And I fell out laughing because my mother did the same thing to me. So I'm like,
See?
wow.
Crazy.
And it's
She was
true.
tripping. She was tripping. Yeah, she.
My mother
Yeah,
was
she
tortured
tripping.
and said, your baby gonna be black and ugly. And she was doing the color purple for real. Gonna be, you just black and you ugly. Your baby gonna be black and ugly, just like you. Man, I was so scared when I didn't want to tell my mother that I was in labor. I was that mad at her. So I went to labor and I was scared that my baby was gonna come out dark with nappy hair and ugly like me, right?
Mm,
He came out, my mother took my baby from me. I ain't lying.
mm.
That was not my baby. It was her baby.
Oh, well.
Oh, yes, it's
Where'd you grow up at? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, for real.
Inglewood, California.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why you went to Vegas. Okay, that makes sense. A lot of people from LA went to Vegas.
My mom passed away when, well, she's really not my mom. My real mom passed away when I was 2. My auntie took care of me, so this came from my auntie. But I call her my mom because I don't know my mom. I only know my mom by pictures. So
Okay,
this
that's-
happened. If I shoot, I have a story to tell. Molestation, abusive, beating, all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It was a lot that was done, but see, black people don't want to talk about the colorism. They don't want to talk about the SA. Sorry, I don't want to get you flagged. Sorry for that.
I mean, yeah, we could put that on. I mean, it's always good to talk about that stuff. You know, like I said, we'll do mini streams. We should put that on the next stream. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's. I'm sorry you had to go through that. I'm sorry you had to go through some of that though, just to say. You know.
Colorism, we need to talk about it. That's why Michael was the way that he is. And if you look at the whole Jackson family, the whole family is mixed up because Joe said it to Janet too. Don't be messing with Bobby Brown because we don't want no cookabook at coming home. He didn't want no dark kids.
Mm.
So
They-
you know the darkest one got
And
his
she was messing with Bobby
You are an old man and you ain't daddy.
Right.
I really think if him and Joe had a better relationship, I think he'd have been here today. I think that strained relationship is why people were able to, kind of feed him and support his addictions. But if his daddy and him had a better relationship, Joe would have ended a lot of things if they'd have been closer.
One thing Joe
thought that
did
too.
was the best thing is it made them superstars. The worst thing he did was abuse them, and more than one thing abuse. He did probably beat them and SA.
I don't think he did nothing like that to him. I think he was just a bully and verbally abusive and
And Latoya tells us that
Physically
he
abusive.
did that to her.
No, you can't buy Latoya's story. That thing got so filtered in. She had so many people.
I'll be honest.
She had so many people trained in her story. Her story was trained.
Right. Because she was married before. She was married to a guy named Jack Gordon who was also beating her. Right? And he had that book that she wrote. He had her write that and put a whole bunch of scandalous stuff in it. So this stuff about him, about her father, SA, and her is 9 times out of 10 a lie that Jack Gordon made her say.
Let me tell you something. With our family, I think that girl would have got the beat down for real.
For sure.
And
For sure.
they was fine because she'd have got y'all to see all up in the industry. Look at Diana fighting her brothers again. Sure is fighting her sisters again. Cause I'ma tell the truth. Sure, cause they was saints. They were American. They was American.
I got a question for y'all though. Are y'all surprised at the impact of the movie?
No, hell no. Never that. Because Michael Jackson is Michael Jackson. He's going to do, his legacy and impact is going to do what he does regardless.
Well, he brought a lot of people together again,
Yes, he did.
even in his passing. Okay, he's not here because everybody wants to have Michael Jackson fever again, and they probably can't stand it. Yeah, they're gonna get the money, which is sad. I would have wanted his family to get it. They're gonna get the
Who's
money.
going to get the money? His estate.
Yes.
Well, his estate is the children, his children. So, that is his family.
No, because something else. Other people got the like they publishing and all of that action. Those lawyers got that. I'm talking about them.
No. Graham King got the producer's part. My Jack got 35% of production, and his mom got like 8% of production. But the family got a major part of production. And then if you look at the whole agreement, the movie is going to be solely owned by Michael Jackson after 10 years. Once it runs through Netflix and television for 10 years, it's solely owned by the estate. That's the only thing that they demanded was that you have sole ownership at some point.
Sure.
Man.
And when he, I don't know, it's just when I don't know, he passed away, and it was a weird time. I was only 7 years old when Michael passed away.
Ooh, how old was I? Probably in my. Oh no, I was. 2009.
Yep.
Yeah, and when I was
Died on a
47.
Thursday. Died on a Thursday in 2009.
Man.
Like that, because I remember that announcement that Jermaine made. My brother, the legendary King of Pop, Michael Jackson, passed away on Thursday, June 25th at 2:26 p.m.
I was at work. At
I
work.
was too.
I was like shocked. I was like, oh my God, all my family. That's all I use for my cell phone. Bling, bling, bling. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. Okay. They act like he was my family member. I was like, I don't want to talk. You okay? You okay? No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I don't want to talk.
This girl came out of HR onto the stationery floor when we was assembling parts. Prince, like he gone, y'all. He gone. He gone. We thought it was somebody. There was a co-worker, and she was like, "Nah, Michael Jackson gone."
Damn.
Everybody fell out crying.
Everybody fell out, and the supervisor came out there, and I quit my job that day, man. I quit.
You quit your job because of that?
Man, I went home. I sat in that room for probably about a month.
Damn.
It was
Here's the
devastating.
thing. People don't remember. It took 3 months to bury Michael Jackson.
Right.
Because they had to
And
go
somebody
and
talked
get,
trash about Michael Jackson before he passed away. Or before he was buried.
they had
That
to
right there.
investigate his murder.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
had to.
And another person whose death, well, it didn't really affect me because I was only 3, but another person whose death affected my family was Luther Vandross in 2005.
Yeah.
Now, Prince got to me.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I thought you were gonna say was Prince. I remember that was a big one too.
But she, she said when she was
Yeah, she young. She young. Yeah, I remember Prince. They're playing Prince on the radio on every radio station for like 24 hours.
I couldn't understand why they playing Prince. Why they playing Prince? We was driving and she was like, "Girl, Prince passed away." I said, "You lying? Don't lie."
You know what's funny? I was just talking to a relative about that.
First, and I was mad about Whitney Houston because
Oh yeah,
I was
'cause
like,
that's
y'all
what I
just seen y'all guy go, and y'all gonna go too. Y'all gonna go the same way. Y'all seen your guy go. I was just, especially Whitney Houston.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
She was
but
doing smart to
why
drive.
they all had to go like that? Come on now. I think they did Prince in too, because remember he put slave on his face. He was going
You know,
on
the
about
only
his music.
person,
They could.
the only person that survived and talked to all of those people,
Who?
Oh.
Don.
Oh yeah. That's true. That's why I said Madonna should have been put in that movie too.
I hold Madonna up. The reason I hold Madonna up, cause she told everybody, like, stop selling your soul to these people. You don't owe them everything. And if you notice, Madonna is one of the only people that was at that level. She didn't sell her soul. She did what she wanted to do. She ran at her own pace. Michael Jackson was a people pleaser. Prince was a people pleaser. Whitney Houston was a people pleaser. Madonna was like, I'm not. They can't have my soul.
Yeah.